Sloat, long suspected of killing American teen Natalie Holloway in Aruba, just arraigned in Alabama, pleading not guilty to federal extortion and wire fraud charges.
The charges stem from allegations dating back to 2010, where Vandersloot alleged.
Hi, we are on. See, it says the house is unmuted. My big show today, guys. Lots of big news broke last night.
Real rude that they did it to our Friday show.
Yeah, and they did it to our Friday show.
I was thinking the same thing.
But because we love you and we want to cover this stuff and make sure you're informed, we stuffed this show full of guests that can get you caught up on the latest from the Trump indictment, the Biden memo, and even the smoke out in New York. So leading off the show, like from the top of the show, we've got Gregg Jarrett. He's a Fox News legal analyst, and he's a former defense attorney. He is going to join us to kind of talk about this information from a legal perspective. Then at 12:25, Joe DeVito is going to join us, and we're going to talk about a whole host of topics with him. And I think the last time we had him on was when Trump was indicted the first time.
Ironic. He's our expert Trump indictment reporter.
I believe he led with the joke, because this was back in January. I believe he led with the joke, I thought banana republics would be warmer. So we'll see how he feels about the atmosphere now.
We should go back and clip that.
I'll see if I can grab that.
That would
see
be
if
funny.
I can play it when we come in to talk.
And then, of course, Wiggins America at 12:45.
What is it? Did you text us? Did you run it
Yes,
by
he
us?
did.
You liked it. Yeah, she liked it, but she's not
You know
in
what?
like
I remember
with
that
it.
now, because I remember when I clicked that thumbs up, I thought, he's going to get an annoying message.
I almost responded because I knew that you did that so that I would get an annoying
So,
message.
what is it?
I'm not even going to give you the satisfaction of doing it.
What is it?
What was it? I remember thinking
It is a variety of polls, some of them actually highly political, and some of them just kind of mood of the country kind of stuff.
mood of the country.
Yeah, like about tipping and stuff.
That kind of stuff. But also there's one about social conservatism. I'm looking forward to bringing. It will surprise you.
Then at 1:07, Mike Davis is going to join us. Mike Davis called it. He said when the memo drops.
Last week.
Yep, on this show he said when the memo drops, they'll indict Trump. The memo dropped, they indicted Trump. So he's going to come back on and talk to us about that. Then at 1:25, Ask Me Anything. Get all of your Ask Me Anything questions in.
Do us a favor. Listen, folks, I'm doing a lot of cramming here. So if you could take the burden of the 1 o'clock hour off of us and get some Ask Me Anything questions going here, that would benefit the show and me. I'd be so grateful. Send your questions in the chat.
Yep.
All 24 of you, 26 of you.
Yes, I need 26,
We need 26 questions.
now.
Maybe even more. You can do a couple.
2 o'clock, X's and O's with Trisha and Princess Storm. So we're going to have a great battle there. And then we're going to close out with the poll results, the YouTube poll of the day, which I know you all been waiting for. Who will go to jail? Will it be Trump? Will it be Biden? Will it be both? Or will it be neither? So make sure you vote and you comment, because Hannah's going to be starring your comments, especially the really good comments, and she'll be reading them on the air to kind of show us why you voted the way you voted.
I think also in the pre-show, I would like to add to the people who are watching here, you early birds, all 31 of you, that we have to do these time check things each hour, and Ryan does them, and Hannah does them, and I think you guys should grade how well they do them.
Yes, I
In the
love
live
that.
chat.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So let's set a grading scale. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, F.
Standard
E.
grades.
What's E?
Yep. E.
A, B, C, D, E,
Minuses
F.
and pluses
E is
included.
Oh no.
Yep. 4.0 scale.
And today, surprisingly, Hannah's going to be doing all three of them.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
Great.
all right, let's get the show.
Okay, let's go.
rolling here.
This is a
Lots to
big
talk
show.
about.
Big show.
Stick around.
Make Jules on Hampton your first stop. Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Back with the Fox News Alert. If you're just waking up, former President Donald Trump is set to appear in federal court on Tuesday to surrender because yesterday he was indicted for a second time. The 2024 Republican frontrunner facing 7 criminal counts related, we believe, to those classified documents found at his Mar-a-Lago home.
Well, for a Friday, there is quite a lot of news that has transpired in the last 24 hours, and we're going to cover all of that for you. The Trump indictment, the Biden memo, everything that you need to know we're going to have right here on the Annie Frey Show today, and we're going to start with our first guest. Gregg Jarrett joins us. He's Fox News' legal analyst. He's a former defense attorney and law professor and author of the book, The Trial of the Century, and among others. Greg, thank you for coming back on to start the show off today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, Annie, it's always good talking to you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I kind of want to open the floor to you to tell us what we need to know, but I do want to separate the huge stories that we're following here. I want to start with the Trump indictment, the precedents for something like this, the historical nature of the indictment of a former president on federal charges. Greg, just tell us what you want the most basic facts of the American people to know.
Well, it's certainly unprecedented to indict a former president. But Merrick Garland is ignoring the established precedent within his own Department of Justice. He is criminalizing a civil dispute over documents that's governed exclusively by a civil statute, the Presidential Records Act, which means that anything created during a presidency, whether it's classified or not, can be maintained by a former president. And in fact, that has for a decade been the official standard and opinion of the Department of Justice, dating back to a similar case involving Bill Clinton, who kept classified records. And frankly, it was a standard that was endorsed by a federal judge in a Washington, D.C. district court. And, you know, the judge said not only does the National Archives have no authority to determine presidential records, but the judge went on to say that seizing records by the Department of Justice is unfounded and contrary to the Presidential Record Act's express terms and contrary to the traditional principles of law. So Merrick Garland decided, well, forget about all of that. It's Donald Trump, so we're going to criminalize it. And that is selective prosecution and unequal application of the law.
I think that what we hear a lot of the pundits reacting to, whether they're legal analysts or political analysts or pundits or whatever, a lot of people are looking at what Donald Trump has done, what we know about Joe Biden and the classified documents at the wheel of in his garage of his car, his Corvette. And everybody's asking, why Trump and not President Biden? What is the distinction that makes the Donald Trump case different than Biden or Pence or anybody else who has had classified documents or these types of documents in their possession?
Well, the point is well taken. As I say, selective prosecution. It's okay for Hillary Clinton to mishandle classified documents. No charges are brought, and she wasn't president. She had all of her classified documents during 4 years of being Secretary of State in her own home. Now, that's a per se crime. There's no excuse for it. Joe Biden had more classified documents in more locations. Look, part of the problem with former presidents, and every president since Reagan has had this problem, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, is that presidents don't pack up their, presidential papers when they leave office. By law, that is performed by the GSA, the Government Services Administration, which, frankly, is an incompetent agency. I mean, the GSA wouldn't know a classified document from a Where's Waldo picture. And so is it any wonder that papers get scattered in all the wrong places? If you want to fix it, rewrite the Presidential Records Act to make it abundantly clear that a president can either have or not have this stuff. And second of all, assign a unique agency that is competent to segregate these materials. But, it's classic federal government. They could screw up a free lunch.
So we're speaking with Gregg Jarrett. He is the author of multiple books. I would like to highlight The Russia Hoax and Witch Hunt, and your newest one, The Trial of the Century. He's also a Fox News legal analyst. We're very grateful to have him on here with us today. This indictment is supposed to hold 7 charges, is what I've been hearing. I don't know if it's at least 7 charges. Do we know anything about what these charges entail and the potential consequences should he be found guilty?
Well, retaining classified documents under the Espionage Act, comparable, withholding documents, unauthorized removal under a different statute, 18 U.S.C. 1924. Frankly, a lot of these are the things that I identified in my other 2 books, The Russia Hoax and Witch Hunt, that Hillary Clinton egregiously violated. And again, she wasn't a president. Then you've got other things, obstruction of justice, concealing a document in a federal investigation, false statements, and so forth. The problem with those process crimes, the latter ones I referred to, is that, for example, you cannot obstruct a non-crime. So, if Trump honestly believed that he was entitled to these documents, and I think he was, under the DOJ standard, then he hasn't obstructed anything. Moreover, obstruction requires, under the law, a corrupt purpose, and the Supreme Court has defined it, as a depraved and evil intent. If you honestly believe something, then that's not a corrupt purpose. It's not obstruction. So it's going to be a tough one, I think, for Merrick Garland to prove in a court of law.
Gregg Jarrett speaking with us right now on the issue of the Donald Trump indictment that came down yesterday. I want to ask you, before we shift to the Biden situation, a lot of the detractors, including the woman herself, Hillary Clinton tweeted out a photo of her wearing a hat and said, "but her emails," or something like that. A lot of people who detest Donald Trump, can't wait to see him in an orange jumpsuit or whatever, get real worked up when people refer back to the Hillary Clinton email scandal. And I'm wondering if you'll give us that correlation, why specifically the emails do matter in comparison to what they're doing to Donald Trump?
Well, I'll give you an example. As I explained in detail in my book, Witch Hunt, not only did she run the risk of jeopardizing America's national security, she in fact did. The Inspector General for the Department of Justice, which dug deep into what she had done, determined that her computer system, her homebrewed system in her home in Chappaqua, was hacked multiple times. And in fact, hacked by the Chinese, who installed a system whereby they, on a daily basis, receive contemporaneous documents that were classified that she received. So there were no national security secrets during Hillary Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State. The Chinese had everything, and if they did, so do the Russians. Talk about, jeopardizing America's interest. Hillary Clinton certainly did that. Juxtapose, Donald Trump. Documents are stored. He's got Secret Service protection. If you've ever been to Mar-a-Lago, it's like a fortress. And I've been there, and I've been there to talk to the president about this case. And, you got to go through a lot of a phalanx of security. So the notion that, these documents were at risk is, I think, specious at best.
Yeah, I think that it's important to talk about the details of the Hillary Clinton emails. It gets truncated into a hashtag in conversation today, but a lot of people are leaning into these issues right now and wanting to know what the details are because we are in unprecedented times. I want to shift to the dramatic story that is building and growing surrounding the president, the current president of the United States, Joe Biden. Here is a quick clip here from Congressman Donalds. Greg?
This document also stipulates that, according to the confidential human source, that money was being moved through several accounts, multiple accounts, to get to Joe Biden. I'm going to say it again. Money was moved on purpose through multiple accounts to get to Joe Biden.
So Congressman Donalds there is talking about the FBI memo that he was able to see that the American public has not been able to see. Gregg Jarrett, can you kind of break down for us what situation is starting to surround the president and closing in on him from some of those connections that we've known previously about Hunter Biden?
Yeah, well, I don't believe in coincidences, and I think they rushed out the indictment of Trump yesterday to try to obscure what the Oversight Committee in Congress had found out by taking a look at this 1023 form that the FBI has been concealing for so long. It's based on information from a trusted, reliable source dating back to the Obama administration that apparently has a meticulous record of accuracy, so much so that they paid him more than $200,000. So you begin with that. And then you take the suspicious position of, Christopher Wray and the FBI. We looked into this, nothing to it. Well, you'd have to be an idiot to trust the FBI. I mean, look at their recent track record of censorship in protecting, the Hunter Biden laptop and their misfeasance and malfeasance in the Russia hoax. So I think it's constructive and good that the House Judiciary Committee conducts their own investigation. Is this information reliable? And it apparently is connected to what we've long reported, that, Joe Biden, when he bragged that he extorted Ukraine to the tune of $1 billion in U.S. aid unless they fired a prosecutor who was investigating corruption at Biden's son's company, Burisma. Well, according to the confidential informant, an executive at Burisma paid off Joe Biden $5 million and Hunter Biden $5 million to do it. And the money was then funneled through a complex web of shell companies to hide the source, which, by the way, constitutes money laundering. So, I think it's important that Congress investigate it because the FBI can't be trusted.
I think you're spot on with that analysis. Gregg Jarrett, before we let you go, we're asking on our YouTube channel, we put a poll up every day, and today's is who will go to jail, Trump, Biden, both, or neither. Will either of these political parties get to see their political enemy in an orange jumpsuit in a jail cell?
There's no way of knowing what course either one of these cases are going to take. I do think that the Department of Justice under Merrick Garland has been running a protection racket. Just listen to the whistleblowers who have said that, U.S. attorneys appointed by Biden, Merrick Garland, the Department of Justice, the FBI, have been politically interfering in a legitimate investigation into Biden family influence peddling schemes. Now, if in the end the proof arises, that's not just a set of crimes. It's an impeachable offense. Bribery is one of the identified crimes in the impeachment clause of the Constitution. High crimes, misdemeanors, treason, and bribery. If you sell out your country for cash to yourself or your family members, that's bribery. That's influence peddling. It's corruption, and it's against the law.
Well, and I bet if people picked up the Gregg Jarrett witch hunt book, they'd see how they tried to create an entire scenario that alleged some of these similar type of circumstances about Donald Trump. For what purpose? To make him politically expendable and no longer a threat. We are living in quite an unusual time, and your legal analysis, Gregg Jarrett, very, very welcome, and we're grateful for it here on the Annie Frey Show.
My pleasure, Annie. Always good talking to you.
You as well. Thank you. Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst. His latest book, The Trial of the Century, about the Scopes Monkey trials. It's available for pre-order right now. But his books, seriously, this is going to start to become historical text. Witch Hunt and the other one, the Russia hoax. Man, they've done a lot of the things and we have since then uncovered a lot of the details behind the lengths that the Democrat Party was willing to go to try to disparage Donald Trump. And we're going to go over a little bit of the coverage today of the experience that Donald Trump is having as an federally indicted president, now former president, with Joe DeVito. I'm looking forward to a little levity, but still getting to the facts of the matter with Joe DeVito, who's a writer at Fox News and a regular panelist for Fox News' Gutfeld. And Joe DeVito is going to be with us here on the Annie Frey Show when we return. And stay around because in the 1 o'clock hour at 1:05, Mike Davis with the Article 3 Project, he's going to come on here and pick up where he left off, I think it was last week, where he said, folks, listen up. We're getting really close to some evidence that shows us what Joe Biden was doing with his ability to persuade policy, taking money from foreign nationals. We're getting really close to the evidence being public. When that happens, they're going to indict Trump. 1 week later, here we are. So Mike Davis at 1:05, Joe DeVito with us when we return. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Looking at those changes, hope to God you see my face.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid, to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. GetRefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Warmer days are coming. Time to schedule your annual AC system check for as little as $15 a month. For any residential or commercial HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Starting your morning in the right direction.
I listen to you every morning.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
My husband and I both work for a living, and it's really hard to watch the news, so thank you.
Weekdays from 5 to 9.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you so much for what you do.
On 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
It's crazy. You know, I thought living in a banana republic, the weather would be better.
That's Joe DeVito from the last time he was on the Annie Frey Show, and we welcome Joe DeVito back, writer, comedian, regular panelist on Fox News' Gutfeld Show, and our friend here on the Annie Frey Show. Joe DeVito, I think the last time you were on here, Donald Trump got indicted.
Yeah, right, on schedule. It's like, is it on the lunar cycle? Is that how it works?
We're like, Donald Trump's indicted. Get Joe DeVito. And we got him. We begged you to clear your schedule, and we're grateful that you're here. I mean, this is, speaking of banana republics, this is, I mean, as funny as that moment is, this is kind of wild right now. A wild time to be alive.
It definitely is. You know, it's interesting you played that clip for me to be complaining about the weather here in New York. You know, the skies is finally, and tell you, the skies, they were darker than Justin Trudeau on his way to a costume party. Oh. That's how dark things were here. So has Canada always been this annoying?
I mean, usually they're not as present about it. It's like if it comes up in your brain for some reason, like your hockey team is playing in Canada, you're like, oh yeah, Canada. But now they've infiltrated. They've been a little more aggressive this time in their presence. I think it's unusual.
They have, and people always used to say if things weren't going well in the United States, they would move to Canada, which that is a lateral move at best now with what's going on with our government. I mean, at this point, it seems like they're going to come after Trump for parking violations soon. They just keep trying to throw this at him and see what will stick. And it's crazy, the timing of this, that they really needed a distraction with what's coming out with the receipts on the Biden crime family, because aliens didn't catch on for some reason. That's how screwy things are now, that the government coming out and pretty much saying, yeah, we got a couple of spaceships. What wasn't enough to save Joe Biden's bony ass.
Yeah, that seems like a story that's behind the glass. You have to break the glass to get the alien story out. You throw it out there, you're like, this will totally do the trick. It's not doing the trick. And Americans right now are watching Donald Trump once again. How many stories are out there? I wanted to read for you this headline. I thought you might get a kick out of this. This is from NBC News. Big picture of Byron Donalds up there. And here is the headline. This is how you know that Joe Biden is the president and Donald Trump isn't. House Republicans attack Biden and his family after viewing FBI document. And then it goes on in the sub-headline to say Republicans emerged from a secure room on Capitol Hill after viewing the FD 1023 form brought in by the FBI and continued to accuse Biden and his relatives of bribery and corruption. Seems like they kind of bury the lead there in their headline.
Well, the story is always, I guess this is Republicans emerging. Usually they're pouncing. They like to say Republicans pounce, which is like saying, serial killer kidnapped and held against his will. This is what happens when you break the law. People will talk about it. And I love Byron Donalds because I listened to him and he made the point that the Biden family has all these LLCs and all these shell corporations, yet they have no business. The Biden family doesn't provide any service or produce anything, yet they have all these corporations that are just shuttling money back and forth, and that the mainstream media isn't saying, why do these companies exist? That is insane.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of questions that naturally come to anybody with a few brain cells to rub together. People are asking questions. Here's a little bit more from this NBC News article. And while I'm reading this to you, I just want us all to kind of reflect back and think about Igor Danchenko and the Russia hoax and the dossier. Just think about that time and how valid all of that information was. And then join me back here in June of 2023 from NBC News today. Republicans have purported that the document includes an unverified allegation from a human source who said Biden, when he was vice president, was involved in a bribery scheme involving a foreign national. House Republicans called the allegation, quote, credible and, quote, legitimate Thursday. The way that they are diminishing the actual details that should push us in an investigative way to want to know more, to get to the truth. It's like the Republicans are doing this to everybody.
Yeah, well, I think what helps is if you look at the journalists, they're not writing the stories, and they are stories. They're not reporting. They're writing stories. So other journalists will read them. So, which is why they use this weird kind of code they speak in, where if you want to diminish what someone says, you don't say, I wouldn't say Annie said something. I would say Annie claims. Mm-hmm. So it automatically raises this air of suspicion, similar to, the story, like we said earlier, is always the Republican reaction. But it's never discussing, well, what is the impetus for this? And, the fact that the Bidens have all this money, that Joe Biden has been supposedly in public service for 5 decades, where does the wealth come from? And I never had a problem with Trump as a rich guy going to Washington. The problem I had was with elected officials going to Washington and leaving rich. That's the problem. Where does this money come from? And that you'd think would inspire a little curiosity in the press, but it doesn't, because they're writing these stories to impress their friends in the press and because they're shills.
Yeah. Joe DeVito with us right now, writer, comedian, and regular panelist on Fox News is Gutfeld. I look at this information because I was trying to consume what everybody was putting out there on these stories. It's a big day. It's a big day in American history. It's a big day in news, of course. And I think to myself, when Americans today who are doing everything they can to avoid the news pull up their news source when they have to go get the facts, and they see the way these things are being presented, everybody is encouraged to rapidly run to their corners. And with Trump and Biden both being on the hot seat right now, how do we do this 515 days away from an election where people are going to have to continue to pay attention a little bit more than they had in the past?
Yeah, it's exhausting. And with my work at Fox, and I'm soaking in the news as you are. And to be honest with you, when I finish this call with you, I don't look at the news again until Monday morning because there's no escape from the way it's packaged for us. And yeah, it's terrifying to think that, we're still this far away from the election and we're going to have to keep listening to this nonsense. It doesn't help educate or inform. They create these absurd stories. Like, for example, people are still referring to things from the Steele dossier as if they're fact. They're still making jokes about the, supposedly Russian prostitutes peeing on a bed. And they're acting like that. First of all, I don't even understand how that gets revenge on the Obamas to have prostitutes pee on your bed. I don't know where they came up with that. When the real story is we have a president who is constantly peeing on himself. I think that is the more important story.
JoeDeVito.com at Joe DeVito Comedy on Twitter. Where do you see this? We talked to you previously the last time Trump was indicted. He's indicted again yesterday. There are a handful of other cases out there where every time this happens, it's shocking. This is the first federal indictment. The next one will be like the first indictment on a Tuesday, and we'll just go over this again. And they're trying to disparage Donald Trump. And if you're in Donald Trump's corner now, you're even further in the corner for him today and tomorrow and the next day. How does this affect the election?
It's a good question because I think this shows you how bad the deep state and the establishment are, that they were able to take Donald Trump, a loudmouth, abrasive billionaire, and make him a man of the people. Because people are able to look at what they're doing to him and say, this is the same kind of thing they're going to do to me. This is the same reason they just hired, I think it was 87,000 IRS agents. It's the government is coming after people. And if they can do this to the president, former president, they can do it to anybody. And I do think this is making Donald Trump, for all his flaws, a more sympathetic person, because the people coming after him, they're not exactly the good guys in the white hats. So I don't know. Again, to go back to what we just said earlier, this is so exhausting. I don't know what's going to happen between now and then. I do think that if the aliens have landed, you always see in the movies where they land on the White House lawn, I could see them coming down, seeing Joe Biden shaking hands with ghosts and saying, we're gonna come back in a few thousand years because
get it together.
The humans aren't done cooking yet. They need a few more millennia to get their act together.
So before I let you go, Joe DeVito with us right now. We ask a YouTube poll every day on our live broadcast on our YouTube channel, and today's is who will go to jail, Trump, Biden, both, or neither. What do you think?
I don't think the Bidens are going to go to jail because I think that, if you couldn't get Hunter in jail, who's a walking parole violation, Trump's not going to go to jail. I hope, again, I can't say this with the confidence maybe I could a couple of years ago. The system it's very hard to believe in. But I don't think they're going to be able to get to stick for Trump. For Biden, he's at death's door anyway, so I don't see how they're going to be able to lock him up. So I'm going to go with none of the above going to jail.
Isn't it weird that you kind of have to walk through that thought, though? Is it possible that in either of these, the leading Democrat candidate, the leading Republican candidate, might be in jail, and they might still win? It's an insane time to take
and they're
in politics.
Both 4,000 years old. Let's not forget that. This is really. I always think that I think we could have a better hope of picking presidents if you just got something in the mail like jury duty and we picked a random person and you tried to get out of it.
Oh, man. Well, Joe, we appreciate you. We look forward to talking to you again soon when yet another indictment comes down for somebody, some major player in American politics. We love having you on the show.
Well, then we'll talk to you in about 4 weeks.
Yeah, we'll catch up. Joe DeVito, thank you. Good to have you back.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. He's a writer, a comedian, and a regular panelist on Fox News. I think Brad, I'm going to ask him when we come back in for Wiggins America in the next segment. I think Brad went to see Joe DeVito. Great stuff.
That sounds right. I think he did.
Yeah, at the Funny Bone. Whenever these guys are in town, we have connected with them. They've been in studio with us, and it's good to have us back. I know some people are like listening to things that he's saying, and they're kind of jumped by it because he's making jokes. He's a comedian, and they're funny.
Yes.
So laugh, be free, exhale, and laugh, and move on. And don't spend the rest of your day being offended because somebody said something mean about somebody. I mean, good grief. Good grief. Let's just pull up Twitter and start reading tweets. When we come back, Weekends America, in studio, Brad's going to join Hannah and me as well here, and we're going to talk about some polls. You know how Ryan loves the poll. We're going to have Ryan back in studio when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
IGotFloor.com is the website. If you're shopping for flooring this weekend, you can go to IGotFloor.com right now and see what Michael's Flooring Outlet has to offer you. Locally owned and operated St. Louis business. That means a lot to me when I'm shopping, knowing that you're purchasing from somebody who has their stakes rooted deep here in St. Louis and has, over the course of decades, been helping families in St. Louis, just like you, find the flooring solutions for their residential needs and for their commercial needs. Michael's Flooring Outlet has the offerings, the different looks that you need, the different tech in flooring that you need to make sure that your budget is met, your aesthetic expectations are met. At Michael's Flooring Outlet, they're doing that each and every day. The Smart Strand Mohawk Silk line of carpeting is beautiful. It feels great. Think about running your feet over that new, fresh carpet in your home that really gives you that clean, sleek look that you've been searching for to replace that old, dingy carpet. You go to Michael's Flooring Outlet, you are going to get a great price on a great product with the best staff in the business. Find them online at IGotFloor.com.
For the first time since 2020, the third edition of the Karen's Cup. Beginning June 3rd, players will compete for a $180,000 prize fund. This tournament features 10 of the top female chess players in the world, including returning champion Humpy Koneru, along with top-rated American Irina Krush. It's one of the most decisive classical tournaments in chess that you won't want to miss. Catch all the action on the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube and Twitch channels.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Ask me anything. You can ask us anything online. Go to the YouTube chat and ask us a question there. We're going to do that segment at 1:25. We will answer those questions. The time right now, 12:44. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
TalkZone.com.
Connect with the personalities and give your feedback. 97.1 FM Talk is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For content that's additional to the radio, join us there. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFreyShow.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason to live. They got little hands, little eyes. They walk around telling great big lies. They got little noses, tiny little teeth. They wear platform shoes on their nasty little feet. Well, I don't want no
This song is horrible. It's like he was on a bender. And he just
Yeah.
had grievances. And he's like, I'm going in on short people.
Somebody short hurt him real bad.
What did you do to him?
No. I'm not short, though, so I can't answer that question.
That's what a short person would say.
Ryan, we have to come in and lower the camera for you every day.
That's true. And the standards.
If you get online right now on the Annie Frey Show YouTube page and you see
I need that pen.
who looks short on the screen right now.
We had to adjust your camera.
No. It's not about
sitting
me.
in a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I do too. And you go, oh, I gotta adjust the camera.
But
It's
you're
because I
standing
sit
right
down.
now and you're still short.
No, it's not. Look at us.
5'5"
Look at us,
is
me and you.
a respectable height, Ryan.
It is.
It's not anything you should be ashamed of.
You're right.
Hey, it was-
5'5" is respectable because
5'5"
5'5" is
you're
below
tweaking.
where I'm
Okay,
at.
let's go.
I knew it. You're trying to get it in and she wasn't ready, and I got to say my piece. Thank you, Hannah.
Little piece.
I got cut off. Is my audio up, Hannah?
No.
Yes.
I'm going to let it hang out there. You know how Ryan loves the poll. We're going to have Ryan back in studio. You clipped that?
Well, it's the perfect intro to this segment because I do love the poll. I love many polls across this great country of ours.
I didn't know if you heard that, and I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to have to talk about it.
She just said that. That was pretty good turnaround for
Thank you.
He usually doesn't listen to the show.
I know.
Yeah, I don't have any
Even
interest.
when he's on it.
No, when I'm on it, I'm fully engaged. But when I'm not, I'm like, boring. Polls. Let's start with the mood of, not this studio. Let's start with the mood of the country.
It's a little tense. I'm going to indict you by the end of the show.
If you've sensed, you know what? I would think you don't have the authority to do that. But somehow you will have figured out how to do
You
that.
don't actually have to commit a crime.
Well, that's true.
Just going to find something to indict you on.
Yeah, you go 66 in a 65 mile an hour zone, and they go, "Ooh, that guy, that's the one we want. Let's get him." If you have sensed that people are
You're
a
going
little
66 and a 65, you are making me mad, but not for the reasons that you think.
Exactly. The mood of America is not bright right now. Did you know that? I mean, duh. But they actually have a historical precedent for this. Results of a recent Gallup survey released this week found that just 18% of Americans were satisfied with the way things are going in the country. That is about half the historical average, which means that Americans are historically very displeased with the direction of things right now.
Really?
I know. Amazing, isn't it? 18% is really low, but it's not the lowest it's ever been. The lowest it's ever been was when that warmonger George W. Bush was just about to leave office, and the hope and change we all wanted was coming into office. It was about 10% of America was happy with the direction of things at that point.
Ooh.
So that's pretty amazing. The issues that most Americans cited in this poll, economic concerns and immigration concerns were some of the top ones. But then just government was in there. Just the word government.
Mm-hmm.
People said, that's a concern of mine, amazingly. And then inflation, crime and violence, guns, and the federal budget deficit. This was going on before that was probably solved, which is why that was top concern. So there you go. That's the mood of America right now. It ain't happy, but it's just a little bit better than it was last summer. And they're saying probably because gas prices are just a little bit lower.
Are they?
It's $3.88.
I know. That's what they said. And I'm like, really? That's what you're saying? It's essentially even. But America is not happy. Second on the list of polls that I thought were very, very interesting. When you hear the words social conservative or social conservatism, I think we probably are okay with saying, yeah, I am. But that's a term that a lot of Americans just seem to shy away from. According to Gallup, same polling organization, more Americans are willing to identify as a social conservative now than at any time in the last decade.
I bet you they didn't change their positions on anything.
I think you're right.
The measuring stick has changed.
Yes.
The Overton window has shifted.
The Gallup survey released Thursday.
Or is that completely different?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
He's got the quote. That's all he needs.
Showed that 38% of respondents said they are socially conservative or very socially conservative, an increase from just 33% last year. So, I mean, this is going up pretty quickly. And I dug into some of the numbers here, and I'll try not to get too numbery, but the age groups across the board, everybody's saying they're more socially conservative, but the biggest rise was 30-year-olds to 49-year-olds jumped 13 points up. And then I dug even more in. I thought this was the most interesting. Why are people saying that they're more socially conservative now than they were just 2 years ago, according to this PRRI poll? In 2021, 59% of America said there are only two genders. Now, less than 2 years later, that number is up by 6 points, where in 2023, 65% of America now says, yes, there are just two genders.
That shows me how naturally inclined Americans are to just be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the further they're pushed on it, they're like, okay, fine. I have to say this out loud clearly because it seems as though if I don't say it out loud, it's going to go even further.
But that's when it has been pushed. I mean, in the last 2 years, this issue has absolutely exploded as a social issue.
Yeah, they're inclined to be nice until people aren't nice to them for a long period of time. So whenever you start shoving stuff down their throat, you start abusing them, yelling at them, calling them names, eventually they're just going to be like, you know what? That's enough.
It's when you go after the kids.
It's true.
And guess what? The age group with which that question has increased the most, are there only two genders? Gen Z has increased from 2021 to 2023 by 14 percentage points.
They say what by 14%?
They are now saying 57%, which was 14% lower 2 years ago. Now 57% of Gen Z says there are only two genders. I'm willing to say that.
Hannah has helped.
My work
That is a fact.
is not done, but getting there.
This is something I talk about quite a bit when I'm talking to friends and family, and even on my show on the weekend sometimes, that we say that politics is downstream from culture. We also often use the term, it's the economy, stupid, that's going to drive people to the polls. But is this kind of issue, this social issue right here in these polls we're talking about, do you think that's the kind of thing that turns elections? Because I really do. But I would like to know whether you think something like the economy is actually a bigger issue than a social issue like this that would drive people to the polls. Do you think that it matches that? Is it greater? Because in my opinion, social issues do drive people to vote more than even economic issues do.
I don't think that they used to. I think that I think this goes back to when was it? What year was that? When Governor Northam was elected in Virginia. I think you could point to that and say that's when social issues became the most prominent that they've been in a long time.
Why?
That was parents getting mad at school boards. And he ran on a platform that says, I will defend your rights as parents. And he won on that platform in a very blue Virginia, a Republican one.
Last one on the list, according to a new extensive bank rate survey, 2/3 of Americans, 66%, have a negative view about tipping. And 41% believe businesses should pay their employees better rather than relying so much on tips. I have to agree, not necessarily with the paying people more or less, but just it's gotten to the point where everything you do, people are asking for a tip. They're flipping the little chart around. They're holding it to your, like the waitress is holding it right in front of you while you're signing it.
If it's a waitress, though.
Yeah.
Waitress, I feel different, but like at a Cardinals game when I'm already buying a $17 hot dog.
When you're buying a soda that they turn around and get out of the fridge. It's not even fountain soda. They're like, here. And you're like, 15%, 20%, other.
0.
I'll give you a tip.
I found myself following this simple rule. Tell me if I'm off here.
You're probably off.
That when the person flips that screen around, usually a coffee shop, and they walk away from it like they're not trying to pressure you, I'll tip. If they sit there and watch you and watch where your finger goes, I'm going, I think I might hit 0 here, buddy, because you're pressuring me. I don't like the pressure.
I think it matters. I will tip if they give you exceptional service. If people are exceptionally pleasant. And, I mean, if you're buying something that is $5 and they're very pleasant and I can tip them 10%, it's 50 cents. Of course that adds up. And I could see how Gen Z would be frustrated by this because they'd be the least able to afford it. Mm-hmm. Am I going to lose sleep over 50 cents because someone was exceptionally nice to me? Not really. But at the same time, if you're just flipping it around and you haven't said a word to me, I think we're done here.
Mm-hmm. I actually do the reverse. I feel bad if I don't tip. I'm like, I'm going to take a stand, and then I walk away going.
The indictment has been unsealed. We have Mike Davis from the Article 3 Project. I hope when we come back, in case he got called up to the bigs, he's going to be here in the minors on the Andy Frey Show. We come back, don't go away.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic. Come to the Enchanted Attic, and the mysteries of life shall be revealed. Gaze into a crystal ball to see your future. Breathe in the exotic fragrances of incense, candles, and essential oils. Adorn your body with jewelry encrusted with mystical gemstones from around the world. Why, many who enter the magical realm of the Enchanted Attic feel as though they have entered another dimension in time and space. But actually, in reality, they have just entered 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, home of the famous Enchanted Attic. This is Diane, and you need to come to the Enchanted Attic. It's mystical, magical, and a whole lot of fun. Open every day, free gift with purchase. You'll love this store.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The White House won't go there. Lisa Brady, Fox News. They are not weighing in on the first federal indictment of any U.S. president, with Donald Trump facing multiple counts over the handling of classified documents.
The rule of law is a bedrock principle of our democracy, and we're going to respect that. And we're just not going to have comment on this today.
White House Deputy Spokeswoman Olivia Dalton also telling reporters they had no advance notice of the indictment. Trump has a court appearance set for Tuesday in Miami. The indictment has just been unsealed, and special counsel Jack Smith is now scheduled to speak an hour from now. Trump says he's innocent and that the Biden administration is corrupt. Former Vice President and now fellow presidential candidate Mike Pence tells the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Let me be very clear. No one is above the law. As you know better than most, Hugh, handling classified materials is a very serious matter.
But Pence says the case further divides America, and he's deeply troubled to see it move forward. President Biden and the First Lady are in North Carolina, focusing on new measures to help veterans, including executive orders aiming to help provide more job opportunities and economic security for veterans and their spouses. More U.S. aid for Ukraine, over $2 billion worth.
As Ukraine engages in its anticipated springtime offensive, the Pentagon announces a new aid package to be provided from the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. So the Pentagon explains the Patriot munitions, artillery rounds, drones, and Hawk air defense systems and missiles will come through procurement capabilities with industry and partners, and not drawdowns from DoD stockpiles. Congressionally approved funding for Ukraine is almost out, and Speaker McCarthy said this week he thinks additional aid for Ukraine will have to go through a formal appropriations process.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The man suspected of killing American teen Natalie Holloway in Aruba pleads not guilty to financial crimes in Alabama. Jorn Vandersloot accused of extorting money from Holloway's mother. America's listening to Fox News.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
for you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Not this afternoon, but we finally have some rain on the way. Mostly sunny skies, a little hazy this afternoon, but nice temperatures, 82 degrees. Tonight, clear skies, 70s for evening plans, 58 for the low. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe a spot thunderstorm, but primarily a dry day. Warm it to 88 with scattered showers and thunderstorms around Saturday night and much of the day on Sunday. Sunday's high, 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
If you're as thankful to your first responders as we are, then nominate a local department and let us feed them a great meal. Compliments of Grill Master Tony Stone. Mark Cox here. Visit 971talk.com/contests. Help us feed our first responders. You can nominate someone today.
Old friends are priceless. They'll be there when you need them, just like you can count on your old friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door running smooth all summer long. The annual tune-up will find the issues and identify safety concerns. Sizzling hot garage door tune-up for just $89.95. The Overhead Door brand, your old friends in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, 314-781-5200. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com And join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, Health from Within, STL.com.
Right now at Diamonds Direct, whether you buy a $3,000 diamond pendant or a $30,000 designer ring, you can spread your payments up to 5 years. Or if you prefer, you can get on-the-spot savings as much as $5,000. And everything's included. Exquisite diamond rings, earrings, bands, bracelets. It's our best offer of all time. You can pick a low monthly payment for up to 5 years or get instant savings up to $5,000. Don't miss this amazing offer. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Mark Cox here. Have you noticed that for sale signs in your neighborhood have been up longer than normal? Why? They don't have my good friend and trusted realtor Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. That's why I only recommend you call Gloria Liu. I've been telling you about her for years now. Call Gloria before you list your home. Gloria has the buyers with over 2,400 exclusive buyers in her database looking for a home in your neighborhood. Gloria sells twice as fast and for 5% more money on average when compared with other agents. With Gloria, you sell faster and for more money. She'll guarantee upfront in writing to sell your home at your price and your time frame, or she'll buy it herself. Call Gloria today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on price and possession date.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace is on a mission to make sure no kid sleeps on the floor in our town. This is Ryan Wiggins, and as part of our Conservatives Care this month, we hope you consider donating bedding, time, or funds to Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Learn more at 971talk.com/care.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
What do you make of it so far?
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. A very busy Friday here on 97.1 FM Talk. And, of course, the news that came out yesterday regarding the indictment of Donald Trump on federal charges. And we are now getting more information about what those charges do entail. And to get to that, I want to play Shannon Bream breaking down. This is just released, and she is breaking down pretty much in real time some of the things we've heard here.
Through, but I do think it's important to go to the back of this indictment, which has the penalty sheet, and that tells us exactly what the former president and this alleged co-conspirator could potentially face. And when you go through this, you've got those first group of counts, those 31. They're all under the same statutory provision. Each of them could carry up to 10 years of imprisonment. That's a max, but also a fine of $250,000. There are other counts here about conspiracy to obstruct justice and withholding a document or a record. Those are 20 years maximum each. Also concealing a document or record, that's another 20 years. In a federal investigation, concealing a document, that's another 20 years. And there are a couple of others that get you to the 5 years each. So, I mean, this is significant jail time if this case proceeds, if it gets to trial without some kind of deal, if there is a conviction on any number of these counts. These are not easily brushed away. This is something that is a real danger to anybody who would be facing this indictment. These are real charges with real potential time behind bars and heavy fines, which would be the least of the former president's worries. So politically, this has in the past helped him. That New York indictment helped him and boosted him in fundraising and polls. This is another story because it probably will also feed his narrative that Washington doesn't want him back here, that, quote unquote, the deep state is trying to keep him out. But along with the political benefit he may gain from this, there are very serious legal risks and point by point, very detailed allegations about how he and this alleged co-conspirator worked together to make sure that there were false statements made through attorneys and legal members to the DOJ through the Trump team. There's a lot of allegation of misleading here, of moving boxes, not only that he had them on the front end, that possession of those documents, but as we said, the follow-up, what comes behind that, the not being truthful, allegedly, about the documents, of potentially moving documents involving someone else in that. So that's how we get to this 37, 38 count indictment, how you want to look at it. This could have stayed sealed until Tuesday, but clearly the Justice Department, which is going to speak about it shortly, felt like it was important to get it out there. This is their side of the story. The former president is innocent until proven guilty, and this is the case they're making.
Shannon Bream on Fox News really making a very quick brief of what we have seen so far. And I'm going to cue something up here, so pull that down. I think that this is interesting. The distinction is being made, not that he had the possession of classified documents. How many times have we heard Joe Biden's people or Joe Biden himself say, you know, I welcome them to come in and do whatever they needed to do. And he was very accommodating, like put out tea and crumpets for the FBI to come and do the things that they needed to do. But the idea that there was significant compliance on the Biden part, that completely does not pay attention to what the documents were, where the documents came from, when he took the documents and put them in a box next to his Corvette in his garage. All of that didn't matter. The prevailing story and narrative from Biden has always been, we're super happy to comply in any possible way. Shift over to the Trump story, and the narrative from the Trump people and the Trump camp has always been, I was the president. I declassified these documents. These documents weren't classified. Therefore, since they weren't classified, I could do whatever I want with them. That has been the prevailing narrative that has come from Donald Trump. What we seem to be hearing here now is the distinction that it's not just the possession of classified documents, but it was documents that were defense related. I wrote it down here. Willful retention of national defense information, and that in 2021, he showed this to multiple people or on multiple instances in 2021 at Mar-a-Lago.
So they've had to make that shift because if you recall, when this story really started to break, it was about, oh, he's not the president anymore and he has these documents. That's a huge problem. Well, as we all recall, over the last 6 to 7 months, every president and vice president has been put out in the open as to having the same kinds of things, sometimes a whole lot of them. In the case of Mike Pence, he said he had a few, but we saw the boxes and boxes of them in Joe Biden's garage, among others. And he wasn't even the president at the time of taking those. So they've had to shift this from being just holding the documents to now, well, what did you do to my FBI? What did you say to them? And now, even if those things aren't a crime, we can say, well, you're obstructing justice because we're trying to get to a crime. It may not be a crime, but you can't obstruct us anyway. Those are the three things they've had to say over and over and over, those three counts.
So the Fox News report here, former President Trump was indicted on 38 federal counts, including willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and false statements, according to this unsealed copy of the indictment obtained by Fox News. Special counsel Jack Smith has unsealed this document today. And as we were hearing Shannon Bream on Fox News say, this could have waited till Tuesday, but for whatever reason, they wanted to get it out right now. We go to our guest, Mike Davis, the founder and president of the Article 3 Project. Of course, Mike, welcome back to the show. Breaking news, the indictment unsealed. Your thoughts on the latest information we now know?
Well, it confirms for me what I've been saying since August, which this is a political indictment by Biden to get Trump. This indictment does not even consider that the Presidential Records Act, not the Espionage Act, controls a former president's handling of his presidential records, including classified records. The former president is allowed to have his presidential records. It does not matter whether they're classified or not. That's why Congress gives former presidents the office of the former president with secure office space, with federally funded staff, with security clearances, with Secret Service protection. This Mar-a-Lago office was the same office that President Trump used when he was the president of the United States. It is very secure. These documents never leaked for 18 months since he left office until Biden sent the unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful home raid to get back these damning documents from Trump, his declassified Crossfire hurricane records, which is what this raid was all about. That's what this indictment is all about, is because these documents show that Obama, Biden, Hillary, the Attorney General, the FBI director, the CIA director colluded in 2016 to make up the Russian collusion hoax and unleash the illegal Crossfire hurricane investigation on Trump because Hillary got caught with her illegal home server as Secretary of State with our nation's most classified secrets hacked by our foreign enemies, and she destroyed this server in the face of a congressional subpoena. So that's what Crossfire Hurricane was all about. It's also not even legally possible to obstruct justice into non-crimes generally. There is a binding 2019 legal opinion in the Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel that says this. They've ignored the Presidential Records Act. They've ignored the 2019 OLC legal opinion. They've ignored a 2012 ruling from an Obama judge that former presidents are allowed to take their presidential records, and the mere act of taking them makes them personal. It doesn't matter whether they're classified, as evidenced by Clinton having 8 years of highly classified audio recordings in his sock drawer. This is a political hit on Trump, and the reason they're doing this now, today, rushed, is because Biden got caught taking $10 million, 5 to Joe, 5 to Hunter, as vice president from Burisma, and changed American policy, threatened to cut off $1 billion in American aid to Ukraine if the Ukrainian president didn't get rid of a Ukrainian prosecutor investigating Burisma and the Bidens. This stinks to high hell. This is very political. And where are the charges against Joe Biden for having 5 stashes of stolen classified records in several different locations, moved several times, hidden from the public? The FBI had found them after 2 months of a sweetheart deal between Garland and Biden, hiding these, covering this up. When Garland got caught, they sent in the FBI and they found the 5th set. How was that not obstruction? He was the vice president. He didn't have the right to these records. This is outrageous what they're doing today.
Founder and president of the Article 3 Project, Mike Davis, joining us. They're talking about willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and false statements. Is that different than the previous way it was discussed for us non-legal eagles, talking about the possession of classified documents? A lot of the reports, and this is all brand new information, but a lot of the reports saying that he was showing military plans of attack to people at Mar-a-Lago that were not qualified to be able to see them. Is there a distinction in these indictments that you've noticed so far that's different than what was anticipated before the indictment was released?
Yeah, they know that Trump declassified these records, so they're not charging for having classified records. They're charging this Weasley thing called national defense information. And their theory is essentially that a president of the United States can declassify information and still be charged for espionage after he declassified information under this national defense information theory. It is complete garbage. First, the Espionage Act does not apply to a president or former president's handling of his presidential records. Presidential records are any document created or received by the president or his White House staff. So if the CIA sent a classified document to the president or his White House staff, that is a presidential record that the president is allowed to keep in the office of former president when he leaves office. He's allowed to keep his personal copy. He declassified these records, and that's why they're not charging him under the classification part of espionage. They're charging him under this bogus legal theory that he can declassify something and still be charged with espionage under national defense information theory. It is garbage. This will never hold up in the Supreme Court, but Garland doesn't care. Biden doesn't care if this holds up in the Supreme Court. That's going to take a long, long time to get to the Supreme Court. All Biden and Garland cares about is the next presidential election in November of 2024.
Yeah, the next 515 days of a campaign are what matters, generally speaking, in these stories. Last question before we let you go. We know you have a very busy day ahead of you. Does Donald Trump get found guilty in a Miami federal court about this issue?
Well, I'll tell you, he could because the Biden Justice Department, this corrupt National Security Division, these corrupt units of the FBI that ran the Crossfire Hurricane illegal investigation against Trump in 2016 are now covering their tracks. They had to go get back these documents. Trump had a civil lawsuit versus Hillary Clinton that these documents could have become public, and that's why we had this home raid to go get back these documents. And if it's so urgent to
Seems like we might have just lost Mike Davis. Well, that's unfortunate. We appreciate him coming on the show with us, and for something like that to break within minutes, literally, of him having a scheduled hit here, we're grateful that he still came in. We'll have him back on the show. He is the founder and president of the Article 3 Project. You can learn more about it at article3project.org. You can follow him on Twitter at MRDDMIA. Maybe he's back here. I'm just going to put him back on. Mike, sorry, I think we lost you there somehow or another.
I was saying the timing is because Biden got caught taking $10 million, 5 to Joe, 5 to Hunter, in a foreign bribe and changed American policy. That's why we're hearing about this indictment today, because we found out about this Biden corruption yesterday.
Yeah. And you said that it was going to happen last week here on this show, and we're grateful you gave us the time to come back and discuss it more. We'll have you back as soon as you are available to us. Mike Davis, thank you so much for your time today. I know that you'll have a lot of other people to talk to, so we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Of course. Founder and president of the Article 3 Project, Mike Davis there. I was saying you can follow him on Twitter at MRDDMIA, Mr. DDMIA. You can go check him out, or the Article 3 Project at Article3 Project on Twitter. We're going to take a quick break. We've got an Ask Me Anything segment popped up here. I might interject some political-based Ask Me Anything of the crew here so we can continue this discussion. And I want to know what you think as well. So keep your YouTube live up along with your radio on 97.1 FM Talk. You find the Annie Frey YouTube channel there. I wonder if people would have changed possibly their vote on this YouTube live chat poll from the beginning of the show till now. Listening to Shannon Bream talk about all the different charges, 31 charges that have to do with, what was it I wrote down? The willful retention of national defense information, 38 federal counts out of special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into the classified records. Trump indicted on this case, and we've got the indictment released. We spoke with Gregg Jarrett at the beginning of the show. Get on the Odyssey app and rewind to 12:05 to hear that. Just got done with Mike Davis of the Article 3 Project. And don't forget Joe DeVito of the Gutfeld Show on Fox News, writer, comedian, who joined us at 12:25. Ask Me Anything when we come back, and your thoughts. We'll feature some of your responses as well in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
The Diamond Shop in Clayton, they've been in St. Louis since 1910, and this is the place that generations of folks have gone to purchase their jewelry, to get that watch. Maybe it's the heirloom. I mean, think about this. There's so many people around St. Louis right now who have inherited just beautiful pieces from the Diamond Shop. When you go into the Diamond Shop and you put your faith and your trust and your budget in the hands of the amazing folks at the Diamond Shop, you understand that they're going to care for you in a way that has you coming back over and over again. I want you to give the Diamond Shop the opportunity to earn your business one time because you'll become a repeat customer over the years. I have purchased beautiful pieces from the Diamond Shop. My husband has purchased beautiful pieces from the Diamond Shop. And when you go there and you talk to them, you'll understand why people go back again and again. They can do 6 months, same as cash, special financing for you. So when you are looking to make a purchase, maybe Christmas, folks, 6 months away, you want to get something very special for somebody this Christmas season, start your shopping at the Diamond Shop today. You can find them in Clayton. You can find them online at thediamondshop.net.
Station KFTK, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing a broad outreach for job vacancies at our stations. We seek the help from local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our stations. Community organizations that wish to receive our job vacancy information can reach out to Frankie Fan at 206-577-2432. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job vacancies of all Odyssey radio stations.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Hey, Father's Day is coming up, and let's face it, Dad can be hard to shop for, but you know what dads really like? Steak. Omaha steaks are amazing, and the experts there have made it very easy to put a smile on Dad's face this Father's Day. Head on over to omahasteaks.com, use the promo code FMTalk at checkout, and get $30 off your qualifying order. You can choose from bacon-wrapped fillets, air-chilled boneless chicken breasts, burgers, jumbo franks, and more. And if Dad has a sweet tooth, I know I do, most gift packages come with 4 delicious caramel apple tartlets. Omaha steaks equal the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in juiciness and flavor. Think about Dad opening up a delicious package from Omaha Steaks on Father's Day. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready for Dad to love whenever he's hungry. And let's face it, he'll probably share. It's all backed by an unconditional 100% money back guarantee. Place your order today at omahasteaks.com. Use that promo code FMTalk at checkout to get $30 off your order. 5 generations of family-owned expertise means uncompromising quality you can trust. Minimum order required. Head to omahasteaks.com today.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
I don't think they're going to cancel debates just because Trump's not going to show up. But is the polling going to shift? Probably not.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. To the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Walk like an Egyptian.
So let's talk a little bit more. We normally on a Friday would do an Ask Me Anything here, and we're going to get to that. So if we've got some questions you want to send, get on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and comment your Ask Me Anything questions there. We will star them and try to work them in here. There's a lot going on today. Donald Trump has been indicted. The indictment has been unsealed, and we are consuming this information as it was released in real time. Here is some more reaction from Fox.
Shannon, thanks for jumping back in here. I know you've had a chance to go over the document, which I think we all had a hard time printing. It was kind of in a tough format to print. We've all got it in front of us, though, and important to lay out exactly what we've seen so far in this unsealed document, which outlines two clear circumstances in which the former president did allegedly show these documents to other people. One occurred in a meeting with a writer at his golf club in Bedminster, where he described federal officials' plan of attack. We read that earlier against him, and purportedly acknowledging that he knew the information is, quote, still a secret. The later meeting with a representative from his political action committee, the former president displayed a, quote, classified map related to a military operation, acknowledging he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. And that was a direct quote of the former president, according to prosecutors in this indictment. What more have you been able to go through there, Shannon?
Yeah, I mean, those are the two standouts for sure. And there's been much made of a recording potentially of a meeting in which the president said some of these things. And it looks like that accounting in this indictment, it's on page 16 of the copy that we have, where he's talking with a writer and a publisher about a book that's going to come out. That language seems to mirror what we've been told is in a recording. They may not be the same, but they certainly sound very parallel, where again, you have the C. He says, as president, allegedly, I could have declassified it. There's laughing by a staffer. Now I can't, but this is still a secret. Staffer, yeah, now we have a problem. Trump isn't that interesting. So we've heard much about that recording. It seems like it is clearly, if this is it, in the possession and has been of the Justice Department as they're looking at that. But there are also all of these text messages that go back and forth. It details month after month of times where employees and people who were working with President Trump, the allegation is all of these text messages, he's asking for certain boxes. He wants them moved to certain places. He's going through certain boxes. So they have very detailed records, clearly as the result of subpoenas that the grand jury has seen in placing this and putting this together. And it gives us more of a timeline of the communications about where these boxes were being held. There are pictures also that apparently the allegation here is that one of the employees was taking pictures of the boxes, where they were stacked, what they were doing, so they could show the president exactly where things were and how they were being handled. At one point, one of them apparently had come upon some of these boxes that were stacked up, saw them splayed out as if some of them had fallen over, and was able to see documentation that the indictment says would only have been available to very specific, highly classified eyes with other countries and the U.S. So at that point, there's some awareness from that employee who took a picture of that or saw it, said, there's something here that apparently they told the grand jury, we knew that this was something potentially out of the ordinary, describes what they saw. So there's a lot of communication back and forth by people about moving boxes and doing things that are outlined, detailed. There's a lot of detail, as we've been saying, in this indictment that paints a picture of exactly where prosecutors are going to try to go with these 38 counts. I mean, some of them are against the president, some are against this alleged co-conspirator who was helping him and was part of the texting and back and forth on the messages. And so they both are potentially facing serious jail time as we see these communications that outline what was happening at the same time that the archives was demanding this information back, and there were representations and allegations that the president pressured people to make false allegations that didn't line up with what they knew they actually had at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster.
So Shannon Bream really breaking down a lot of information right now for us. It was released within the last hour. And I'll just pull the curtain back a little bit on what it's like to be a radio talk show host while the president has been indicted for the first time in American history on federal charges. The indictment comes out in the middle of the show, and I'm supposed to give you a reaction. I'm not a legal expert. I am a concerned citizen. I am a concerned taxpayer. I hate the direction this country is going in. I hate how they have treated Donald Trump. I hate that they have worked and lied and deceived, and that the people in the political left have colluded with the media to try to make sure that Donald Trump has been made into this criminal boogeyman for years and years and years and years. And then you get to this point in time, you're here Friday, June 9th, 2023, 38 charges that involve President Trump. He's being federally charged in Miami, and I'm supposed to sit here and automatically regurgitate to you how I feel about this. Here's how I feel about this. I don't trust anybody. Anybody. I don't trust anybody who is out there right now providing information that says that Donald Trump is the complete and total worst person ever walk the face of the earth, and it's about time he's going to go to jail. I don't trust anybody out there who is saying these things. And I don't trust anybody out there on the political right now who is going to fully, wholeheartedly say that Donald Trump has never even jaywalked before. I don't trust anybody because everybody has an angle. You know that line in the movie, beautiful movie, White Christmas, where they're sitting at the table and Bing Crosby was like, so what's your angle? And Rosemary Clooney goes, how dare you suggest that I'm here with some sort of angle? And he's like, everybody has an angle. He's right. Everybody does have an angle. Now, that doesn't mean that the people who are saying that Donald Trump is completely and totally innocent here and has never been even guilty of jaywalking in his life, that doesn't mean that I think that they're wrong. I just don't trust anybody. The people who are saying that Donald Trump is the worst person ever walked the face of the earth, I don't trust them either, because I'm trying to find with a magnifying glass right now who cares the most about America. And I can see in our YouTube chat right now, I can see in my Twitter feed right now, I can see in the articles that are being written and the headlines and the way that they are being penned that everybody has an angle. So what do we do? Because, I mean, the truth is, this is just as raw and real as I can be. The confusion that you have right now and the heartstrings that are being tugged right now for some of you who are just thirsting at the idea that Donald Trump might end up going to jail. You listen to Shannon Bream talk about how much jail time is associated with all of these charges. There are those of you that are thirsting to finally see your nemesis in an orange jumpsuit. Maybe you'll get that. I don't know if you're going to get that. There are people who are swearing that Donald Trump, that nothing that ever has been accused, that Donald Trump has been accused of, that he could ever possibly be guilty of any of that. I mean, everybody's got their minds made up already. I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm a free agent. I know these people are willing to make up lies about this man. I know they're willing to do anything that they possibly can muster with the partnership that they have with the media that just wants to see this man hang. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? I don't trust that anything that you have against this president is real or accurate, or that while I do believe that there are things that maybe Donald Trump has done here that are not in lockstep with the way, air quotes, things are supposed to go, and I can go back and look at every other president that's ever left office and go, well, they did it too. You're just treating Donald Trump differently because you hate him. I have a feeling it's not completely black or white or completely red or blue. There's probably some area here where Donald Trump has done stuff that he really wasn't supposed to do. But the idea that you would do this to him in a campaign season when he is the leading nominee or potential candidate for the nomination for the Republican Party is obviously a political witch hunt, which would be like, get in line of the political witch hunts against this man. Does that mean Donald Trump is completely innocent of everything ever? Not in my mind, but I don't trust any of you. And I'm going to need more time, to be fair and honest, to dig through the details here and make a determination as to whether or not I think Joe Biden or Donald Trump or Merrick Garland or the Justice Department or any of these people, any of these players who are involved in here, to decide whether any of these people are doing this on behalf of the country and on behalf of you and me. I don't think anyone cares about us. I think they just care about the next election. 515 days away from today, what matters right now about my ability to retain power, to regain power? Screw the rest of the American people because I need to get back where I need to be. For whom? For what? Who do we trust? Brad taking in all of this information as we've been covering this and, you know, like from when we had Gregg Jarrett on at 12:05 to where we are right now, I don't know if the ball has moved down the field for the red team or the blue team.
Does it matter if the ball's moved for the red team or the blue team? It's like what you said before. It's about the country. It's about what's right. One of the things that I get the impression of, and you kind of touched on this, there are people that are absolutely frothing at the mouth at the thought of Donald Trump going to prison.
Yeah, you should get a vaccine.
There is That should be heartbreaking that a former president might go to jail, not a cause for celebration. And people are celebrating it. Why are they celebrating it? Because they hate him so much. But that same hatred that drives them, it's the same hatred that drives them that makes me question the motives of the people conducting this investigation, the motives of Merrick Garland, all the way up to Joe Biden. They all had a hand in this. How can you look at this and say, it's all on the up and up, there's no doubt about it, when you know that Joe Biden is getting ready to run against Donald Trump in a presidential election? Merrick Garland's miffed that he missed out as a Supreme Court justice. They're going to take revenge. It's natural. Do I know that's what's going on? No. But is it reasonable? Like, am I being unreasonable by thinking maybe they've got an angle on that? No, I don't think so either. It's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. And if this is politically motivated, it's like what Joe DeVito said. This is banana republic stuff. This sort of thing shouldn't and never should happen in the United States if it's politically motivated.
I'll read a comment here from one of our YouTube commenters. Art says, do you trust what the indictment says, Annie Frey? How the hell am I supposed to read that indictment and react to that right now? Do you, Art, trust what the indictment says? Have you read through it with your legal expertise? I mean, what we're asking of people right now, that is the biggest indication that everybody is already in their own sides, that everybody has already gone to their corners. Everybody already knows the outcome. And I'm so sick of it. And I'm not a part of it. I'm telling you what right now, we have two leading candidates for the two parties who both might be in the biggest legal trouble. We'll have historical days every day, because every day someone's going to be in more legal trouble. This will be like, this is the first time that a president or a former president has blah, blah, blah. And then it'll be Wednesday and we'll be like, and this is the first time. I mean, how many times have I said this today? What a time to be alive in this country, where the politics and the party are what supersede anything, anywhere, all the time. So much so that Joe Biden didn't even have to campaign to become the president of the United States, because people hated Donald Trump so much for all of the lies that have been uncovered about that man in the last, 6 months when it comes to the Durham report. The lies, the lies, the lies. You create the boogeyman. You tell everybody he's lurking in the closet. You open the closet door and it's not there. Let's find something else. I have been on this show at this time for over 5 years. Add to that the time that I did 2 years on weekends, covering bombshell allegations. Look at the headlines right now. Twice impeached. An impeachment is a charge. It's a formal charge. What happened after the impeachment? Nothing. He was impeached. He was charged. He was not convicted in the Senate. If you look at the things that, when it comes to Donald Trump and his relationship with the United States of America, and you look at the things that he is alleged to have done when it comes to his job as as a president of the United States, or a candidate to be the president of the United States, look at the things that they've accused him of. Based on what we know were paid for lies from his political opponents. And I'm not even talking about Joe Biden. I'm talking about the first challenger in Hillary Clinton. All of this stuff manifested so that you could freak out, so that you could say, but Annie, do you agree with the indictment? I haven't read the indictment. I don't think I can physically read the indictment, because I'm not going to understand this stuff, which is why I have people come on and talk to us about it. I want Donald Trump to succeed. I don't want Donald Trump to fail. And here's a shocker, folks. Same for Joe Biden. Because the failure of either of those men is a failure of the United States of America. How did we get to here? It's because we stopped caring about things that matter, and we get stuck in our corners. We don't talk to each other anymore. We stop and we see there's big news. So we turn on our favorite outlet of choice. Maybe it's 97.1, and maybe it's the Annie Frey Show, and maybe I'm as guilty about this as what I'm accusing everybody else of. But talk to the people in your life that matter, especially if they disagree with you, and get back to saying, screw the rest of that stuff. I care about these people, and this country is going to hell in a handbasket. And if I don't start paying attention and speaking on the things that matter to me, I'm an accomplice to it. Stop. You can't possibly right now know that Donald Trump is completely guilty or completely innocent. We have a huge amount of context and evidence that shows what the people who hate Donald Trump are willing to do to destroy him and everybody who supports him. We have a lot of context, and I'm not willing to dismiss that context. Not yet. Ryan, how many times have we had days like this on 97.1? Huge news breaking, like the real capital B bombshell stories. And you fast forward 60 days, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, that's why you wonder whether this is going to have a huge impact on the election. Maybe it's just another footnote. I do hope, though, in the context of the larger topic that we're talking about, that tomorrow is going to be another huge story. It's the first time ever, you said. And then the day after that, it's the first time ever that the sitting president is blah, blah, blah. I really hope that we get to a point soon, and this may be still 8 years away, who knows, that we can look back at this and be like, oh, man, remember how the 60s were just crazy? What a crazy time to be alive. That this is that we can look back to, name the starting point, 2018, 2016, 2020, whatever it was, and look back to this and say, man, remember 2018 through 2028? What a crazy time to be alive. Thank God we all came to our senses after that, and we've settled back down as Americans. I pray that is what we're experiencing right now.
I just cannot wait for the post-Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan era. Part 2.
Hallelujah.
Quick break. We might do some Ask Me Anything when we come back. The special counsel is supposed to make a statement at 2 o'clock, so we are going to connect with that as well. We've got X's and O's with our friends Trisha and Princess Storm in the 2 o'clock hour. It's Friday. Gosh, I can't wait for Saturday. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Walk like an Egyptian.
ClosetFactory.com is the website. If you reach out to the Closet Factory, call them at 314-961-4300, 314-961-4300. They can come solve your clutter problem right away. They have the best customized, unique solutions for you in your space. No two spaces are the same. They've got the ability to come in and take the clutter or to reimagine space in your house to really make your house work for you. I talk a lot about this because I hear stories about this, but at a time when your kids are moving away to college and you have this space in your home that's not going to be utilized anymore the way that it used to be before, if you've been thinking about wanting to have a home office, or maybe it's an art room or a music room or an exercise room, something like this, or maybe it's just a different room for other guests to come into, what the Closet Factory can do is they come in and they install a Murphy bed, like in a Murphy-like bed in that room. So it still serves a purpose to allow people to sleep there and have their space, but that bed goes up, and then with the customized storage that you can put in there with the Closet Factory, transform it to make sure that it's serving your purposes. 314-961-4300, online at closetfactory.com.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com, or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
McKelvey Homes was founded in 1898.
This year, we are celebrating our 125th anniversary by giving $12,500 of free options on all homes sold through the end of June. And we will also make a donation of $1,898 to the Independence Center for every home sold. Visit McKelveyHomes.com for our current locations and to learn more information about McKelvey Homes. That's McKelveyHomes.com.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about lakeside renovation and design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
For the first time since 2020, the third edition of the Karen's Cup. Beginning June 3rd, players will compete for a $180,000 prize fund. This tournament features 10 of the top female chess players in the world, including returning champion Hampi Koneru, along with top-rated American Irina Krush. It's one of the most decisive classical tournaments in chess that you won't want to miss. Catch all the action on the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube and Twitch channels.
All right, today's YouTube poll is asking the question, who will go to jail? Trump, Biden, both, or neither? What a day to ask this question. The time is 1:49. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
97.1 FM Talk.
I look forward to hearing the station all day.
Everyone is welcome. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Breaking news all day. The indictment unsealed. Donald Trump has been indicted. If you're just joining us and you haven't been paying any attention to anything for the last 24 hours, Trump has been indicted. We now know that there are upwards of 38 charges that are involved in this unsealed indictment. And right now, I believe Jonathan Turley is talking on Fox. Let's just pop in to see
about this. Haven't heard about it. Don't know just about every detail about this president and this entire case.
Right. You really wonder about whether you want a juror who is unfamiliar with these facts. I mean, these are on every single news program in the country. You don't want to end up with a jury of troglodytes. And so what the court generally presses them on is not whether they have knowledge of this, but whether they have bias. And clearly that's not always possible for a court to eliminate those with bias. But the courts try to do the best they can through voir dire. The biggest problem, I think, for them is not this jury pool. The biggest problem is knocking down some of this evidence. This seems to me all admissible in terms of these photographs, and that's going to leave a mark. I mean, they're going to have to find a way to explain how this happened. The biggest problem, by the way, with having the president caught on tape is that he's recognizing, according to the government, that these are classified documents and that he didn't have the authority to declassify them. And so, again, they've got to come with some narrative that's able to thread that needle. But these are really 38 needles that you have to thread.
Yeah.
Andy McCarthy's still with us. Andy, this is obviously a live look at the special counsel's office there in Washington. We're about to hear from him. Top of the hour, we expect him to step in front of that microphone. What do you expect to hear?
I think he will stick with this very detailed indictment because, as Jonathan's been outlining in chapter and verse, it's very strong. The case doesn't get any better for the government than the one day that you have before defense lawyers start to try to dismantle your case to lay it out in chapter and verse for the public. So this is a high time for him, and he should stick to the script, stick to the four corners of the document. Obviously, what the media is going to want to know is, what were your consultations with Attorney General Garland? They'll want to suggest, or at least give him an opportunity to say, this was my decision, very little, if any, consultation with the Attorney General, no interference from the White House, because he was brought in. Let's remember, there's no conflict of interest with the Biden Justice Department investigating Trump. In fact, they were doing it for a year and a half before Garland appointed Smith, which I think he did not for legal reasons, because there was no conflict, but for political reasons. They knew that a case was going to be brought against Trump, and they wanted to create some insulation for President Biden and the Biden Justice Department to say, hey, we have nothing to do with this. We're detached. We brought in this veteran prosecutor to exercise prosecutorial discretion, and we're not interfering with him. And I think for his part, what Smith's going to do is play to that party line and say, I'm an independent actor. I looked at this. This was my assessment of the evidence. And he's going to want to talk about the facts he's laid out, or at least what he will plead are facts that he's laid out in the indictment.
We are hearing from the president on that point, Andy, about the prosecutor. He has a slightly different opinion than the one that you just voiced. It's a lengthy screed on Truth Social, in which he, among other things, describes Jack Smith as a deranged lunatic. So ahead of his appearance there on the left-hand side of your screen, the president kind of setting the table here as to how he feels about this prosecutor. Shannon Bream, your eyes perked up when we talked about the idea of finding an impartial jury, or at least a jury that can make an impartial decision. Also, Jonathan Turley mentioned the tape recording. I remember a very famous recording of the president, which didn't seem to faze him at all. And
voters,
and he became president not long after it was released. But speak to the jury pool and the evidence that they will hear.
Yeah, and so as Jonathan was talking about voir dire, this is when you can go through and question each of these potential jurors to find out what they know, what they follow, can they be unbiased? And so that's going to be a very deep dive for these attorneys on the president's team as they try to find the best possible jury that they can. This country feels very polarized, but there are a lot of people who don't care about this inside the Beltway stuff. They're not as dialed into politics, and so they're out there. And those are the ones they're going to want to find that don't have strong opinions. What's interesting to me is that when you go back through this document, these allegations that the president, former president, tried to sway his own legal team to make representations, or that he did, that were not accurate. On page 21 of this indictment, it talks about attorneys meeting with him May 23rd, talking about the fact that they had this grand jury subpoena. They're going to have to move forward with this. And during this meeting, one of the attorneys, according to the indictment, says the president told this story, names an attorney, said he was great. He did a great job. You know what? He said it was him. He's talking about Hillary Clinton's attorney, that it was him, that he was the one who deleted all of her emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments. And he was great. And so she didn't get in any trouble because he said that he was the one who deleted them. And, you know, the indictment says he told that story multiple times that day, as if he's suggesting maybe there's another way that we handle this. There's another allegation a few pages later that one of the attorneys who showed up, searched through the documents that he was provided by Trump to the storage room, go look through them. He found several things, put them in a sealed envelope and said, I need to take these and give them to the DOJ. That attorney then, the way it's described in the indictment, says that he made a motion. It says, quote, meaning the president, he made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them with you to your hotel room? And if there's anything really bad in there, like, you know, pluck it out. That was the motion that he made. He didn't say that. So you've got these attorneys coming forward as part of this, you know, grand jury investigation and part of this indictment, now memorializing places where they felt like the former president was pressing them to do something that may have been less than a full disclosure of what they knew or what they had.
Shannon Bream on Fox News really breaking this down in real time, and we are grateful to be able to bring all of those details to you. The special counsel is supposed to speak at 2 p.m. We're going to bring that to you as well. A quick break. We're going to get X's and O's in the 2 o'clock hour, hopefully. Do not go anywhere. We got you covered right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you're looking at new windows for your house, choose wisely. Mark Cox here for my friends at Window World. You want to go with a company you can trust. Ranked #1 in the number of windows sold in the country. That's according to Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years in business, they've improved the look and obviously the thermal efficiency of over 70,000 customers in St. Louis. They're going to give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts and the glass breakage and the labor. It's a good product. Call them at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate. That's 314-993-1800. Window World won the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. That's not easy. They rely on the expertise of their in-house engineers and their analysts and their product experts to give that seal of approval. That should matter to you as well. Call for your free estimate right now. Simply the best for less at Window World. 314-993-1800. WindowWorld.com.
Tuning into the baseball game, monitoring the incoming storm, catching your favorite talk show. These are just a few of the reasons more than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio each month. And did you know AM radio is the backbone of the emergency alert system? It's reliable, free, and public safety depends on it. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. The unsealed indictment on Lisa Brady. It's even more charges than expected against former President Donald Trump. 37 felony counts over the handling of classified documents. The indictment says he kept hundreds of them in a variety of locations on his Florida estate, including a bathroom and shower. Also accusing him of being personally involved in packing boxes and of a conspiracy to obstruct justice. Some of the charges carry maximum penalties of 10 or 20 years in prison. Fox News chief legal correspondent Shannon Bream.
And this is significant jail time if this case proceeds, if it gets to trial without some kind of deal, if there is a conviction on any number of these counts. These are not easily brushed away. This is something that is a real danger to anybody who would be facing this indictment. These are real charges with real potential time behind bars and heavy fines, which would be the least of the former president's worries.
The indictment says one lawyer told investigators Trump had suggested he remove damaging documents to keep them from the FBI, and that he told an aide to hide documents from a lawyer. A Trump aide seen on surveillance footage removing boxes at Mar-a-Lago has also been indicted, accused of making false statements. Special counsel Jack Smith speaks to reporters at this hour. He's been overseeing the documents probe as well as a Trump-related January 6th investigation. The former president and current candidate has called the indictment election interference, insisting he's innocent. He's due in federal court Tuesday in Miami. Some House Republicans accuse the Justice Department of a double standard after viewing an FBI document that makes bribery allegations involving then Vice President Joe Biden. California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna telling Fox News.
When it comes to this document, the FBI director and the FBI has said that they had an investigation into it and they didn't think there was anything further.
He notes that a Trump-appointed federal prosecutor continues a Hunter Biden investigation. America is listening to Fox News.
New. The internet can be an all-you-can-eat buffet for identity thieves.
So full.
Too many maiden names.
And social security numbers.
Where'd you find those?
By the password bar. Can't miss them.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss by monitoring your credit and bank statements. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Not this afternoon, but we finally have some rain on the way. Mostly sunny skies, a little hazy this afternoon, but nice temperatures, 82 degrees. Tonight, clear skies, 70s for evening plans, 58 for the low. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe a spot thunderstorm, but primarily a dry day. Warm it to 88 with scattered showers and thunderstorms around Saturday night and much of the day on Sunday. Sunday's high, 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House.
Breaking news. 97.1, covering it live.
So we are watching right now as the special counsel, Jack Smith, is going to be making his statement regarding the indictment of Donald Trump. And I believe we have it here. You're going to pop it up and see if we can listen.
Somewhere between 2 and 4 minutes in length. We will not be taking questions afterwards.
Okay.
And then he'll exit off of this side of the stage and through the door.
All right, so let's pull that back down again. Just to set the tone a little bit here, we're going to wait for the special counsel. I don't know what Jack Smith looks like. Do you guys know what Jack Smith looks like?
Now, when that guy walked out, I'm like, that must be Jack Smith.
Jack Smith?
Nope,
that's not even
Jack
his
Smith.
real name. Jack Smith? Seriously?
John Doe.
Yeah, so Jack Smith is the special counsel that is supposed to be, he's set to make his statement regarding these indictments. And I'm just going to read for you here a little bit what Fox News has reported so far. The Trump indictment, the headline is Trump indicted on 37 federal counts out of special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into classified records. The indictment is available. I'm going to tweet it out here at Annie Frey Show. If you want to listen in or to read the indictment for yourself, it is available for you. It's lengthy. And of course, it's written in legalese. So if that's your cup of tea, check that out. The indictment, as I was saying here, has been unsealed. Trump first announced he had been indicted Thursday night. And we are awaiting this information to hear more from the special counsel as to what he has to say. Let's listen in right now to special counsel Jack Smith make his statement.
Good afternoon. Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice. This indictment was voted by a grand jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida, and I invite everyone to read it in full to understand the scope and the gravity of the crimes charged. The men and women of the United States intelligence community and our armed forces dedicate their lives to protecting our nation and its people. Our laws, that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Violations of those laws put our country at risk. Adherence to the rule of law is a bedrock principle of the Department of Justice, and our nation's commitment to the rule of law sets an example for the world. We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone. Applying those laws, collecting facts, that's what determines the outcome of an investigation. Nothing more and nothing less. The prosecutors in my office are among the most talented and experienced in the Department of Justice. They have investigated this case hewing to the highest ethical standards, and they will continue to do so as this case proceeds. It's very important for me to note that the defendants in this case must be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. To that end, my office will seek a speedy trial in this matter, consistent with the public interest and the rights of the accused. We very much look forward to presenting our case to a jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida. In conclusion, I would like to thank the dedicated public servants of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, with whom my office is conducting this investigation and who work tirelessly every day upholding the rule of law in our country. I'm deeply proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with them. Thank you very much.
All right, I feel like we know a lot more now, don't you?
Well, that says it all. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate your time.
Was that artificial intelligence?
Yeah, that was a Chat GPT video of a quote-unquote special counsel.
So the special counsel, Jack Smith, delivering his statement on the indictment, the federal indictment of Donald Trump. And, we're sitting here, we're watching all of this happen in real time with you. And it is a historical day. Ryan, we're going to get to X's and O's here. We've got Princess Storm and we've got Trisha, and we are going to get to them here in a minute. But let's just get our thoughts out on the issue right now. Ryan, what do you think about your mood right now? You don't have to litigate the facts, but
sure.
Where's your head?
I think that it's been successful. And by it, I mean the shifting of the focus of the bribery whistleblower away from Joe Biden to this special counsel and this grand jury in Southern Florida. It now is dominating the narrative, and it will for quite a while. And therefore, it is exactly what they were trying to do. Got to tip the hat to them a little bit on this because they've accomplished it. So that's really where I keep comparing the big crime that is being accused of the Biden family and Joe Biden in particular now, compared to this crime that Trump's been indicted on now, and the comparison of the two and the timeline of the two intersecting.
Hannah, you're taking in all of this breaking news as it happens. Hannah's on the board, and she's doing a fantastic job, by the way, because this is a lot of moving parts happening all at once. But you talked about, I think it was yesterday, you said you voted in the 2020 election.
Mm-hmm.
You were
I voted
18.
for Trump.
You voted for Trump. You were 18 years old. 3 years later, you are watching all of this stuff come out about Donald Trump, and you're covering this from a live standpoint. And I just kind of wondering how you feel about it, what you're thinking.
I feel really overwhelmed right now. I think it's a lot of news to keep track of. They're saying these words that I don't even understand, but all I know is that they're not good. These things coming out about Trump aren't good. And I'm not so naive to just fall for everything I'm reading and hearing from either side. I really have to think about it. But either way, it's not good that I can't trust anybody. That's bad. So I don't really know what to do. I think it's really sad that both the current president and the former president both have, we're asking this poll question. It's sad we're even asking who's going to go to jail. Trump, Biden, neither or both. That's sad. We have to ask that. And as a voter, and because I'm young, I just am ready for the noise to simmer down, which I don't know that it ever will in politics, but I would like a candidate that doesn't have indictments surrounding them.
So I think what Hannah is saying now, we do talk about the fact that she's 21 years old. You're very young, but you are very engaged and you are very inquisitive about all of this. I really wish that the people who are 80 years old and everywhere in between, I mean, even over 80, I don't know why that was the cutoff age. I wish that people all across the spectrum would be willing to say, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have the facts. I don't really trust anybody to have the facts because we have in our heart what we want to will into existence. That means crap. That doesn't, just because you want it really, really hard, that's not how things work. And what we should, as Americans, really be invested in is what's real, what's true. Because how can you protect something if you don't even know what about that thing is real? Or if what any of us are advocating for is what is truly right. If you don't know what's real or what's true, you can't advocate for what is right on either side of the issue. People will and are coming at me saying, trying to put me to a litmus test as to where I am on Donald Trump today. I'm the same place I've always been. And if you listen to the show for very much, you know that we have supported Donald Trump here and we've criticized Donald Trump here. And there is no person in your life that you are 100% okay with everything they've ever done, ever. But in politics, that's the end goal. Like, how do we simplify this enough to know that everything Donald Trump has ever done is flawless, or everything Donald Trump has ever done is criminal? It's really like the advocacy for those two thought processes are the biggest predominant factors in a day like today. And I'm just not playing your game. Call me names from both sides. I don't care. Not playing the game. 515 days until the election. Donald Trump might still win re-election because of this. He could be in prison. He could pardon himself from prison. Wow. Ooh. Brad?
The poll question asks, who do I think is going to go to jail? And I look at the poll question. I had this thought earlier. I think that Donald Trump would be the one that would go to jail. I wish it was both of them. I wish that both Trump and Biden would go to jail. It seems like
the same jail cell.
Same jail cell. Cellmates,
and then we
whatever.
call bosom buddies, and we make a show out of it. Donald Trump could produce.
Here's my thing. It feels like there's been a whole, I am under no delusions that people in Washington are squeaky clean and, all of that stuff. But it seems like there has been a whole cover that has been pulled back on Washington, D.C. and the corruption that runs so deep through it. And it's so dangerous to the people that are in power there that they need to make sure that Donald Trump goes down because he could expose it. But in doing so, they're willing to take down Joe Biden with them. So you've got Joe Biden who's being exposed. I mean, Joe Biden had classified documents, but Mike Pence had classified documents. These are two VPs, and the VPs aren't supposed to have classified documents. So they had classified documents. Joe Biden's under, there's a memo that says that this man accepted a $5 million bribe from Burisma to get the prosecutor fired. There's video of Joe Biden bragging that the prosecutor was fired, and the prosecutor was fired. His son was on the board making gobs of money for I don't know what. It looks really suspicious, really corrupt. It's this whole pay-for-play thing. I remember the Clinton Foundation. I remember them making gobs and gobs and gobs of money in the Clinton Foundation. When Hillary Clinton lost, all those funds dried up. Why? Well, she wasn't going to be in the White House anymore. Why did people stop donating to this Clinton Foundation?
Are you a skeptic?
Skeptic is an easy way to say it. So what I want to do is a little mutually assured destruction. If this is the game we want to play, if you are guilty now, if you have a sense of justice, if this is righteous indignation and this is justice that you want, let's prosecute everybody who's guilty. Let's put Joe Biden behind bars. Let's put Mike Pence behind bars for having classified documents. Let's put Donald Trump behind bars for it. Let's do it. Let's clean them all out because they're screwing the country.
Dash says on YouTube, still listening for happy hour. All right. Do we need a happy hour here?
We do.
We do? Okay. So
Yeah.
this is how this is going to go down. We're going to take a break. We're going to break a little bit earlier here. And we're going to play X's and O's, which is going to cover some of the news. And then whatever else creeps out of Ryan Wiggins' mind.
It's news. It's news. I promise.
According to you?
It's all always news. And this week, it's even more news than usual.
Hannah goes, we're trying to orchestrate the breaking news and how we're going to, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we got to do. And Hannah goes, are we going to play the Ryan Wiggins intro into the special counsel?
And then we skipped right over it, didn't we?
Well, we just went right into it because breaking news was happening, but it was actually a false start.
Yes, it was. We
5
thought that guy
yards.
was Jack Smith.
Yeah. We're going to play X's and O's. And then I can't wait for the people who join us on YouTube and like, breaking news is happening and you're not even covering it. Folks, we just did 2.5 straight hours and I'm hungry.
Here's what I'll do. Before every question, I'll say, in light of Trump's indictment.
Okay.
And then whatever the question is.
Yes, that's fair. Let's get Princess Storm and Trisha in here. Let's get to something a little light because it is still Friday afternoon and I have really terrible news for everybody. We're going to be talking about this for hundreds of days.
Yes.
Put a pin in it and rejoin your Friday afternoon and come say hi to us on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat. Would you? We'd like to see you. We'd like to say hi back to you. The YouTube live chat poll who will go to jail? Trump, Biden, both, or neither? I kind of am excited about the idea of them both going there together. That'd be fun.
Fighting over a bunk.
Yeah, I think I know who would win. X's and O's, Trisha and Princess Storm with Ryan Wiggins when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
PreventSprainsocks.com. Golfers out there, I'm going to golf tomorrow. We have a family reunion each year, and it's a golf scramble, and it's so we can all get together and be bad at golf together. If you want to wear Prevent Sprain socks and you want to wear them golfing, maybe not the crew height, maybe you want the ankle height, Prevent Sprain socks still is able to offer you that great compression. They have wonderful quality control. These socks are tested to maintain medical grade compression. They come in golf style as well. Lots of different colors to make sure that they have what you need. My children wear them when they play school sports. I wear them when I'm being active, and I'd encourage you to go and check them out for yourself. They increase the blood flow, which helps lessen muscle and ankle fatigue, and reports indicate a 50% less recovery time for you. They're used every day by athletes, professional, all the way down to the kiddos in the Frey family, and you can get your Prevent Sprain socks by shopping online. I trust them for my family. You can trust them for yourself. PreventSprainsocks.com.
Cardinals baseball is in full swing.
Right center field, a grand slam for Nolan Gorman.
With the free Odyssey app, local fans can listen live all summer long, whether you're at the grill or at the pool.
And it's a goner! An opposite field home run for Wilson Contreras.
Cardinals baseball. Cardinals announcers. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app. AUDACY. Get in the game and download it today.
This is a message for all St. Louis Metro homeowners. If you want to sell your house, but only the thought of it gives you a headache, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis has great news for you. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can help you avoid any headache and will buy your house for cash in as-is condition, and you won't even have to do any repairs, cleaning, or paying any fees. Just call 314-782-8000 for a fast and easy solution and sell your house today. Chris buys all kinds of houses, inherited houses, vacant houses, fixer-uppers, and also beautiful houses. All you need to do is call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis at 314-782-8000 and let Chris take care of everything for you. Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, 314-782-8000 and get the peace of mind you deserve.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready. You ready, Dave? I'm ready, Slick. Are you? Oh yeah, break it down. Girl, I must warn you. I sense something.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Yo, situation is. Let's cure it.
The situation is serious.
Yeah.
Speaking of poison.
We knew that.
Yeah.
She knew that when she played the song.
There's nothing going on in the world right now.
Here's what needs to happen right now. This song, it's so perfect for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
That girl is poison.
Is Todd here?
Todd, where are you at?
Todd available?
TOWD.
Man, he was in the other room. He was in the indictment studio, drumming the whole time, and we said no. Here on the Annie Frey Show, we're going to take 2:25 off from breaking news coverage and get to the news of the week with X's and O's because we have two superstars in here, Trisha and Princess Storm, back to play X's and O's against each other. Woo, woo. And Ryan put a lot of work into this, and he said,
I did. And I will not be.
I
will not be pushed aside.
I did say at the end of the show I was going to indict Ryan Wiggins on something yet, and I'm taking suggestions in the YouTube live chat.
Yeah, so get creative.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to have a real good time, and I'll be in jail. It'll be great. So
my idea of a good time. Don't tempt me with a good time.
It has been a busy news week, and then Friday was like another full busy news week.
Mm-hmm.
So this is covering everything, and I promised going into each question that I would start it in light of Trump's indictment.
Yeah.
And then yesterday,
Whatever.
the Supreme Court, whatever. So that's what we're going to do.
Donald Trump has been indicted on federal charges. Never happened before to a former president.
On federal charges.
And we want to make sure you know that.
Yeah, and as
rewind the whole show and re-listen to it 6
you'll
times.
Get it all. Especially the interviews, because those guys know exactly what they're talking about in light of this. Those guys, look, I'll tell you right now.
Wait,
Gregg Jarrett,
no,
Mike Davis,
It's not
those guys
what
are legal
you said,
experts.
It's how you said it.
They know exactly what they're talking. They'll bring up the Presidential Records Act.
You said especially those guys because they know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Rude.
I stand by it. Todd's here. We got the whole crew in here. Princess Storm is here. Trisha is here, ready to play some X's and O's.
Who's X's and who's O's?
Storm is X's, Trisha's O's. It's predetermined.
We
It's
got
like
David
Calvinism.
in here, too, and he's just hanging out in the background. Does this guy need some headphones so he can...
I asked him. He said he was good, but
Get
I
him-
think he needs
Get
them.
him some
Yeah, he
headphones.
needs some.
Get
Yeah,
him
he
some
can't hear
headphones.
Todd.
Let's figure it out.
I'll give
Todd-
him mine.
Todd's working hard. And...
Hannah doesn't need headphones.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. First question, who's first?
All
Who's
right,
X's,
the
who's
way
O's?
this works, if you've never tuned in before at this time, is that we have our two contestants who I just said hello to. You have Annie, Hannah, and Brad as the experts. You guys will pick a square on the board behind you. It's a tic-tac-toe board, 1 through 9. Each box is associated with a separate question. I will ask that question of one of the experts of your choosing. They will answer. You will simply agree or disagree for the square. That's how it works. You guys both know how to play. Storm, which square do you want to go with?
Number 1, because I am a winner.
Oh,
Okay.
That's how we're going to play this.
Put in that piece of audio for reference later. Rewind on the Odyssey
because
app.
if she doesn't win,
227.
we'll want to play that
Relax, relax.
back. All right,
Forget I
number
said it.
1. Who is the expert answering this question? I'm going to assume it's one of these two because Brad is doing other things.
Let's
Hey,
make
Brad.
it a little difficult. I'm just joking. Annie.
Annie,
Yes.
this is Gavin Newsom.
In light of Trump's indictment.
In light of Trump's indictment, this is Gavin Newsom proposing a new constitutional amendment to limit gun ownership. Here's the audio.
Here's the audio.
Oh, there it is. How about we start that over? All right, here we go.
The 20th Amendment permanently enshrines 4
I like
additions
Hannah's version
to
better.
the laws of our land.
Now you heard a beep at the beginning there. I'll play it again real quick.
The 20th Amendment.
Okay. He is
20,
proposing
28.
a new amendment. What number is that?
20th.
28th. Storm, you agree or disagree?
I agree.
The 28th Amendment.
Yeah.
Did you play the beeped out version?
That's right.
I
did.
knew that anyway.
It raises the minimum age to
No,
purchase
I didn't.
a firearm
I just played the
from
real
18
version
to
after the
21.
answer. All right.
What number was it that
It's
you just said
28.
out loud?
Yes, it was the 28th.
Locking
Correct.
it in.
All right, Trisha,
My turn. Hannah.
Hannah, you got to pick a square though.
It's going to be number 7.
7, bottom left.
Number 7, Hannah. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, along with
In light of Trump's indictment.
in light of Trump's indictment, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, along with the Democrat supermajority Congress, signed a law against judge selecting by selecting only certain judges.
Yeah, it's weird.
You could use to sue him on the legality of his own executive
That's
orders.
fair.
There are over 100 counties in Illinois. Which are the only 2 you can now sue J.B. Pritzker in?
Ooh, tough question.
Cook County is one of them.
102 counties.
Cook County is one. I don't know the other.
Take a wild guess.
It's not Madison County.
That is a county, though.
That is
right.
a county. I
Say
just
a
named the
president's last
2
name.
counties I know in Illinois.
Locking it in.
Yeah.
I'm going double Cook County.
Okay, Cook County and Double Cook.
That's the most Illinois answer she could have come up with.
I'm gonna
No
say
joke.
That's not wrong.
Yeah, that.
Point of order.
I'm going to say wrong because I don't think that's what you were looking for, but it's probably right because of the way the Illinois rules work.
Yeah.
On all counts, everything you guys both said is correct.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You get to put 4 O's in square 7.
Yeah, you get a
Well
full
done,
tic-tac-toe in one square.
Sangamon County,
Sangamon County is correct.
Springfield,
That is Springfield.
Illinois.
That is correct. Storm,
Stupid rule.
where you want to go here?
Number 2.
Number 2.
We're going with Hannah.
Okay.
All right.
Sports.
Hannah, guess what?
No, not sports. In light of Trump's indictment.
No, it's not sports.
Joe
but
Biden.
in light of Trump's
in
indictment,
sound.
I have put some sound from the week through AI software.
It's a prevailing
And-
fact.
Right. And it sounds like this. You'll have to tell me who said it.
I played freshman football at Delaware, and I shouldn't say this, but you had to have a 2.0 to keep going, and I had a 2.99. I mean a 1.99, and my mother made me quit.
Real quote from this week
Yeah.
from a public figure. Who said that?
Did you say
He said republic figure, but he meant a public
I
figure.
said public figure. I did not say republic figure.
Check the tape.
I would
He
never
said it.
do that.
He said it. Raise your hand if you think he said republic.
I don't stumble over my
Yeah.
words ever.
I want to hear it again.
Okay, Joe Biden.
Okay, here you go.
I played freshman football at Delaware, and I shouldn't say this, but you had to have a 2.0 to keep going, and I had a 2.99. I mean a 1.99, and my mother made me quit.
He was bad at math. Wow.
Biden?
You locking it in?
I am undecided.
You locking it in?
What? Yes.
What are you gonna
Okay.
do, Storm?
All right.
Joe Biden, yes or no? Agree or disagree, Princess Storm, for the...
She's looking at my face trying to read me, but I got a poker face. Pop, 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 poker face.
I agree with her.
Here is who really said that.
I played freshman football
yes!
and ended up low at, I shouldn't say this, but you had to have a 2.0 to keep going. I had a 2.99.
Oh,
I mean, a
man.
1.99.
Just an overachiever.
My mother made me quit.
There's so many things about that quote. First of all, you're the president. You're saying you had a below 2.0 GPA in college. And also that you couldn't play football at Delaware, which he didn't do. That is completely fabricated. That he didn't even play football.
Well, he was right. He said he shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give him that.
It's the only truth he said.
And
that
you
whole
had to
thing.
have above a 2.0, and I had a 1.99. So my mother made me quit. No, you're just saying you would have not been eligible. There's a lot there.
Little sus.
So anyway, X gets the square. Good job.
Yay.
All right.
Trisha.
Number 3 for the block, and Brad.
Ooh, I'm back.
Bradford.
You're in.
What is so
Yay.
funny?
Ooh, I'm back.
There were 3 whole questions
He
asked
was-
without me getting
he
the
was
question.
not
I was
really
feeling
interested
left
in the
out.
game.
Oh, that
and then
was
like,
personal, Brad. That was intended to be personal and hurtful.
Well,
Shoot, should I call on somebody else?
I don't know.
yeah,
Depends
personal.
on,
Make
depends
it
on what
hurtful.
you're trying to do to Brad.
I always
Never
get
mind,
picked
not
last,
Brad.
so I'm excited to be picked.
I know. Twice
Bang,
already.
bang, yeah.
You got one more question. You're done.
In light of banana republics, yesterday, the Supreme Court tossed out a redistricting map on a narrow 5-4 vote, saying it was biased against racial minorities. In what state was the redistricting ruled illegal?
Detroit. Alabama. Detroit's not a state.
Michigan?
Hannah.
Wait, what? Oh, that's
I like how mad he got.
Yeah.
Detroit's on the street.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
He's up
Hey,
there.
hey, 7th grade geography beat champ here, all right?
Well, we have to remind people that Hannah's the mayor of Michigan. So
Yes.
That's right. We should play that again sometime.
Yeah, we should.
Alabama.
All right.
Brad seems sure. I'm going to say yes.
Yes, you are correct. You're both correct.
For the block.
You guys are moving and grooving. Here.
In light of Trump's indictment, you get the square.
Yes. Yes.
Number
Princess Storm?
5.
All right. She's ready to go.
Center square.
Nobody is threatening right now. Oh,
Huh.
no. That's not true. I couldn't see the O behind Princess Storm's head. So this is for the block.
Go, Brett.
All right.
Brad?
Just take him off the board. Do him a solid. Just Brad.
He is back. Let's just not
Get him
He's
out of
come back. Better than ever.
It's been a long day, people.
Leave me alone. I've been
been a long
producing
week.
this show.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Joe Biden did a joint press conference with the UK's Prime Minister. Brad, what is the UK Prime Minister's name? First or last? Either
Oh,
one.
gosh, I can't. Nope. Don't know it.
Okay, nope. He's locking that in.
Nigel.
Is it? This is going to sound so bad because
Winston.
I know it starts with an A and his last name starts with an H. But
Asa Hutchinson.
Yeah, Asa Hutchinson. Here we go.
That was really quick, and nothing Brad said was true.
What you just told her?
So, yeah, I'm saying no.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
He
what?
didn't even say a name.
Let me go ahead and get up.
Yeah, put your.
Go ahead. Yeah, you got that one.
Jeez.
boy.
Anybody know? It's Rishi Sunak.
No.
That was a hard one.
Never even heard of
Nah,
him.
he was up on the screen yesterday.
We
I thought.
played
Maybe.
him on the show yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Nothing.
Okay.
Crickets.
All right,
Okay,
Trisha.
Number 9, bottom right.
All right, bottom.
And it's going
Right.
to be Annie.
In light of
In light of
Annie, in light of Trump's indictment, you have
Joe Biden.
stumbled into sound.
Oh.
All right, this is a real
Yeah.
clip from the week. Tell me who said this.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hard.
I always
He's not
get
a
Snoop.
leader.
Yeah, it was Snoop. We got Snoop to read that for us.
Do it again.
Okay, here you go.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hog is not a leader.
I can read it back for you.
Storm looks so confused.
Because it's pretty choppy.
Why is Snoop reading that?
It's a very high budget show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know Snoop?
We called in some favors.
I know someone who knows Snoop.
We know Snoop AI.
Yeah.
So a little bit different.
Yeah,
but
get
close.
with the program. AI is everything right now.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hog is not a leader.
Oh, Chris Christie. I thought he said mayor. And I was like, what mayor are we talking about? Other than the mayor of Michigan.
A mayor hog?
Mirror hog. Chris Christie was saying that about Donald Trump. And I just thought it was like, if you're a camera hog, you're trying to be seen by other people. If you're a mirror hog, Chris Christie's like, I want to see me. And Donald Trump's like, no, I want to see me. And I want to see me. And they go back and forth. And I'm like, well, how does that affect anybody else? It makes no sense. But the answer is Chris Christie.
Well, they might be in the same
seems a little
dressing
confident.
room. Like they're
Even
trying
weirder.
on- yeah,
that doesn't
okay.
make it less weird.
You're
It
right
makes it worse.
about it being Chris Christie.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my pants.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hog
Man.
is not a leader.
If Snoop would just step in for Chris Christie for the rest of Chris Christie's campaign, this would get way better.
Be fine.
Yeah.
Chris Christie writes the hits, Snoop delivers them. Oh, man.
He would have a lot better chance than Chris Christie.
A little behind the scenes, I had to speed that clip up because he goes, a lonely, self-consumed. It's like he's really thinking
Gotta
about it
lay
the
it
whole
out there.
time. Yeah. All right. Still nobody.
A number 8.
Hey, whoever gets this square gets a tic-tac-toe.
Ooh.
I like it. We've never
Come
had
on,
this.
Brad.
All right.
He's off the board.
Number
The first
8.
one off the board because everybody likes him the best.
Yeah.
Brad.
Obviously.
Big brain on Brad.
Look at that big brain. Look, he's my big guy. All right.
What? Stop laughing at me.
This is number 8, Brad. This is
Brain Brad.
that's what everybody always says about him. You ever seen him? That guy's got a huge brain.
They don't ever say that about you.
No, for some reason. No. Whenever I walk in, people just kind of look away.
No, it's not. They just laugh. If you're fun.
Oh, that's neat of you, Annie. Super neat. What a gem. All right.
He says that with
No,
disdain.
number 8. Brad, this is unaltered audio. I need you to tell me who is speaking here.
Yeah, so we've taken the last 6 months to really kind of look at things, where everything is, and I've made the decision not to run for president on the Republican ticket in 2024. And obviously a lot goes into that decision, but it's been quite an adventure, but not the end of the adventure by any means.
It's a choose your own adventure
We all
for
feel
this person.
good that the adventure continues.
Yeah, looking forward to the sequel.
It's like a threat of the 4th installment of some movie series nobody was ever watching in the first place. How did
is
this
the
get funded?
presidential nomination of the Crystal Skull.
What? Indiana Jones is 80.
Chris Sununu.
Chris Sununu. Okay. He says it like, oh.
For the tic-tac-toe. Ooh, this is Storms?
Princess Storm. It's all on you. Agree or disagree?
She's looking at you like you're going to give something away.
Yeah, and I'm just going.
He's been doing it the whole show.
Yeah, I know. It's a smart move on Princess Storm. I admire her.
Wait, what was his answer?
Chris Sununu.
That doesn't even sound like a real name. No.
Looking at him.
He just picked a random gas station name.
I'm gonna go fill up at the Sununu.
No, I'm going to go to the Shell.
I have no idea.
Do you trust Brad or not? He's a pastor.
I do trust him.
Yeah?
He's got a really big brain.
You guys are crazy.
And everybody talks about it online
Huge. Got a lot of info,
on
knowledge
the
out
dark
there.
web.
Just don't know if the knowledge is correct or
Agree
not.
or disagree?
I disagree.
Brad was correct.
I knew it. You guys tricked me.
Oh,
I told you he's
man.
a pastor. Every time I say he's a pastor, people disagree with him, and he's right.
Guess who the winner is?
Is Trisha.
Trisha.
Well, it's
Really, it's
over
all
yet.
of us.
It's not over
It's a
yet.
coverall.
There's still time. There's
Okay.
still time.
Let's keep going.
Okay,
Two
last
more.
two
Like,
we got
squares.
time.
All right.
This could still happen.
We're going to go Number 6, middle right, and I'm going back to Hannah.
Brad's
She's
off
still
the
got
table because everybody loves Brad.
Sorry,
some. That big
Brad.
brain.
With his huge brain. Here you go.
Here we go. In light of Trump's indictment.
Hannah, in light of Trump's indictment, here is sound run through AI.
Anyone that puts themselves above the Constitution should never be president in the first place. And anyone who asks anyone else to put them over the Constitution should never be president again.
Who said that?
Man, there are a lot of options. There are a lot of options.
Play again.
There you go.
Anyone that puts themselves above the Constitution should never be president in the first place. And anyone who asks anyone else to put them over the Constitution should never be president again.
Malarkey.
I heard that clip. We played that
We're
clip.
literally running out of time.
Okay, we played that clip.
And the answer is we played that clip.
No, it's
Agree
not.
or disagree? Okay.
Pence.
I
Mike
think
Pence.
it is Pence. I agree.
Is that anyone who puts themselves
Yes.
above the Constitution should never be president in the first place. And anyone who asks anyone else to put them over the Constitution should never be president again.
Shut up, silly woman.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Yep.
What is that from?
Play that again, please.
Shut up, silly woman.
Wow.
In light
It's
of
a vibe
Trump's
in here
indictment.
today.
Yeah.
Storm's looking at me like, what?
Okay.
One more square.
One more.
No, it's pointless. I lost.
No, it's not pointless.
That's true. This is all
Ryan
pointless.
really wants to ask the question.
Moral victories.
No, he's not getting that.
Oh, I did
victories.
nothing to you.
It's you and me.
Okay.
Okay,
Four.
number
I'll
4.
do it for you. 4 and Annie.
Okay, number 4. In light of Mar-a-Lago Gate, Stacey Dash isn't the only star from the movie Clueless who's fed up with the Democrats. Another major star from the movie came out this week saying they, quote, canceled their Democratic Party resignation and became an independent. This
Resignation?
Registration. Did I say resignation?
You never.
Registration.
No, you said
There was a
resignation.
Democrat
Did
and
I?
he resigned.
Okay.
He canceled
But you never
it.
misspeak, though.
So, okay. Which star from the movie Clueless said they're endorsing RFK Jr. this week? And it wasn't Stacey Dash.
Paul Rudd.
It's a good guess. Paul Rudd.
How do you know it's a guess?
No, don't agree.
That's very wise of you, Storm.
It was a guess.
It was Alicia Silverstone. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Still nothing from Paul Rudd on the front of politics.
What a smart man.
Very
All
smart.
right,
I
Trisha
love that,
wins. Wait, okay, so one. No, who's
Storm
out?
got that, Trisha.
Rude.
Oh, the whole game is sus now.
Guys, 5-4,
Still
2 tic-tac-toes for O's.
There you
Trisha
go.
wins. Princess Storm will have to come back and
Put that smiley face up there and all heck broke
Yeah.
loose in here. Why?
in light of Trump's indictment, we have to take a break. But when we come back, the YouTube live chat poll, who will go to jail? Is it Trump? Is it Biden? Is it both? Or is it neither? You got to get your vote on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. We're broadcasting live on YouTube today, as we do each and every day. We're about 300 subscriptions away from 6,000 there. And boy, do we have fun things in store for Ryan Wiggins when we get to 6,000. We're going to shove it at Target. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Stewart's American Mortgage. You call him, you text him at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And you say, Stewie, I need your help. I need the bagel loan. Annie says there's no closing costs involved when you go and use the bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage. And Annie says that the only place that you can get the bagel loan is with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. And he's going to say, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. And then he's going to walk you through how he can make you the most competitive buyer on the house that you're trying to make your home. First and foremost, the bagel loan. You pay no closing costs. They don't exist. They're not rolled into the loan, so they're financed over the 30 years or the 20 years or whatever your mortgage is for. They don't exist. It is a distinction that exists at Stewart's American Mortgage that helps you take those thousands of dollars that you'll save on not having to pay closing costs, and you can put it towards your offer. You can put it towards fixing up the basement in your new house. You can just keep it in your savings account. He's also going to have a place on his website where you can generate pre-approval letters to help you put in a solid offer. Once you've been pre-approved, you can generate the letters yourself and closing in 2 weeks or less. 314-324-4440. Call or text. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Hey, Father's Day is coming up, and let's face it, Dad can be hard to shop for, but you know what dads really like? Steak. Omaha steaks are amazing, and the experts there have made it very easy to put a smile on Dad's face this Father's Day. Head on over to omahasteaks.com, use the promo code FMTalk at checkout, and get $30 off your qualifying order. You can choose from bacon-wrapped fillets, air-chilled boneless chicken breasts, burgers, jumbo franks, and more. And if Dad has a sweet tooth, I know I do, most gift packages come with 4 delicious caramel apple tartlets. Omaha steaks equal the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in juiciness and flavor. Think about Dad opening up a delicious package from Omaha Steaks on Father's Day. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready for Dad to love whenever he's hungry. And let's face it, he'll probably share. It's all backed by an unconditional 100% money back guarantee. Place your order today at omahasteaks.com. Use that promo code FMTalk at checkout to get $30 off your order. 5 generations of family-owned expertise means uncompromising quality you can trust. Minimum order required. Head to omahasteaks.com today.
Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl, low maintenance and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
Right now at Diamonds Direct, whether you buy a $3,000 diamond pendant or a $30,000 designer ring, you can spread your payments up to 5 years. Or if you prefer, you can get on-the-spot savings as much as $5,000. And everything's included. Exquisite diamond rings, earrings, bands, bracelets. It's our best offer of all time. You can pick a low monthly payment for up to 5 years or get instant savings up to $5,000. Don't miss this amazing offer. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Is your summer staffing situation significantly scarce? Then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
I'm about to deliver the final results to the Annie Frey Show YouTube poll, which is asking who will go to jail, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, both or neither. Stay tuned. The time is 2:50. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show. I don't think they're going to cancel debates just because Trump's not going to show up. But is the polling going to shift? Probably not.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Yeah, I'm faithful. Scratch that, baby, I'm faithful. Gotta say it's really been a while.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
That's
Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Can you play that one again? He didn't sound as excited about that as he should.
No, he didn't.
Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
And just
Hey!
really deliver it.
That's my baby. He needs to sound excited about that.
He just sounded like he was having kind of a little off day.
Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
He's like, God, another thing. This show. At the Annie Frey Show on Instagram.
Ryan, I need another one with him being sarcastic like that, and then one where he's just extremely happy.
Yeah, you should tell him. You should tell him that we commented about this, and we need his top highest level of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Since I don't know that he'll hear this, it sounds a lot like that. The range from happy to sad is about that big.
You
So,
need to say we need it max.
yeah, we need
Max
everything
it
you
out.
got.
How old of
Turn
a
it
guy
to
is
11.
he? Like, this is N64 on Christmas Day kind of excitement that we
Yes,
get from him.
the Annie Frey Show Instagram
Woohoo!
account. See? See, this is the kind of this is it. She's the woo girl.
Yeah, yes, she is. Total Request Live. I want to request the thong song. Woo!
I love that the first time I ever
And they
knew
play
that
30
was a thing
seconds of
was from this show.
We have taken an entire Friday's worth of goofiness and stuffed it into 2 segments.
It's been a day, man.
You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
Poll anybody?
Well, right?
Well, hey, I see a poll. I'm all over it. No matter how used it is.
Ew.
That one, I'm going to take that one back because that one can't be used in the other circumstance. Most of them try to have double entendre. That one was a single entendre. You know? Like if I said, yeah, I don't even care. Here, this one kind of works.
Shut up.
If the poll, even if the
stop
poll is
right
kind
now.
of stanky.
Hit the sounder. Make it the really exciting one. There we go.
Anna, do you have anything to say for yourself?
You're gonna say something stupid.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But today's YouTube live chat poll is asking who will go to jail? Donald Trump, Joe Biden, both, or neither? This poll is super interesting today. We did not know all of this was going to be
How
breaking.
interesting is it, Ryan?
Super.
Super.
I believe it was super.
Super. Woo! Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
After every one, I'll do the fangirl for you.
In light of Trump's indictment.
Wait, no, not woo about that. I take that back. Go ahead.
Do the opposite of a woo.
Okay. Boo.
Who
What
will
kind of
go to
comments we
jail?
got?
Trump, Biden, both, or neither? What do we think? We haven't said.
I think if they can get Trump in a jail cell for 5 minutes, they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. I think neither. If anything, it'll be Trump. It won't be Biden.
Here's
But
a quick interjection. We don't have time to reflect. Just answer. Should the other people who are in the race for the Republican nomination right now comment on whether or not they would pardon Trump?
I don't know that they need to comment about
It's
pardoning.
just a yes or no.
No. I don't
No.
think they need to.
No. Woo! Okay.
Trying to say this.
All right, we need one more vote to get to 200, so I'll wait to give the results. I think that Trump is going to end up in jail. Definitely not Biden. Definitely not both. Maybe neither.
You think they're going to get Trump?
Yep, I think they're going to get him. Just to say that they did. And then do nothing with it.
All right. You got any comments you want to feature here?
You think the same?
Yep.
Comments. No, I don't have any pulled up. I'll just get the results. Who will go to jail? Trump, Biden, both, or neither? 75% of the voters said that neither Trump nor Biden will go to jail. 75% of the people voted that. 20% of the people voted that Donald Trump will go to jail. 4% of the people said that Joe Biden will go to jail. Only 2% voted that both of them. So I think that's pretty wild. I will get results because I'm prepared now.
You're referring to comments
Just
on
a
that
lot
result.
of honesty
Yeah.
in this show today.
A lot of honesty. Joe says Trump might go to jail, but Biden will never go to jail. There's a higher chance that I'll go to jail for expressing this sentiment than Biden actually serving jail time. Please delete this comment.
Joe.
Jimmy says, absolutely no way either of them will go to jail. Does one deserve to? Yes. Anti-American Democrats don't want to go there. It would show hypocrisy beyond repair. That's a heavy comment to read a minute out. He doesn't think they will go to jail. Resident Knievel says, I voted neither. The rich don't tend to be in prison for crimes. If anything, I could see house arrest or a fine. Jackie S. says, neither of them are going to jail. It's all a farce. The people say that, what do they say? They're saying neither of them will go to jail. 74% voted that way.
74% no, 19% Trump, 3% Biden, 1% both. What a day.
It's just the beginning. I mean, in 2 weeks, we might not even be talking about it, but in 2 weeks, it could be still the biggest story.
In 2 weeks, we could be talking about a new indictment.
Yes.
We'll be covering it here on 97.1 FM Talk. Continuous coverage here, Mark Reardon Show, as they take over when we leave. We're so close to 6,000 subscribers on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Go join us there and give us a subscription, and we would be very grateful for it. The Odyssey app is where you can follow 97.1 FM Talk and take 97 with you anywhere you go. Mark Reardon Show, up next.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt.